Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning and welcome you all on one-day national workshop on how to write research paper and report writing using LaTeX. I, on the behalf of Punjabi University Patiala, I, Dr. Richa Sharma, Assistant Professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Punjabi University Patiala, extremely privileged to welcome you all in this workshop. I request all the participants kindly give 2 minutes for the Punjabi University Dhuni. Thank you so much. We are glad to inform you that Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Punjabi University Patiala, in technical collaboration with IEEE Chandigarh subsection and IETE Student Forum of EC Department of Punjabi University Patiala, is organizing an online workshop on how to write research paper and report writing using LaTeX. As we all are staying at our home to keep ourselves safe. Due to the spread of pandemic COVID-19, we have planned to organize an online workshop for faculty and researchers. The topic of the day is the most demanding these days because of some specific requirements of particular journals. This workshop will help to prepare the researchers for writing good quality of research papers using LaTeX to enhance the writing skills of thesis. Definitely through this workshop, our motivated faculty and researchers and all participants across the country are going to have a great exposure and learning which would help them in shaping their future in research. For this, we have received overwhelming response and around 230 registrations. So for this, I want to thank to all the participants. You all deserve a huge round of applause. I'm sure this workshop will definitely help you in transformation. Now, I request our head ma'am, Dr. Ranjit Kaur, who is Dean Research, Dean International also, to give the formal welcome to all the participants and dignitaries.
Very good morning to all of you. So it's our privilege that we have among us our worthy Vice Chancellor, Professor Arvind. So your presence is always the inspiration for all of us, sir. Thank you. And I also welcome our Dean Academic Affairs, Professor B.S. Sandhu ji, and Professor Manjeet Singh Patad, who is a Dean Faculty Engineering, and Professor Manjeet Singh Bhamra, and all the honored guests and the faculty members and all the participants. I welcome all of you in this one-day national workshop on this research paper and report writing using LaTeX. I hope with this workshop, all of you will be able to write your research work in a logical manner. So as this is the need of time, so I congratulate to Dr. Richa for this initiative to conduct this national workshop. And once again, I welcome all of you, and I hope this will be fruitful for all of us. This workshop will be fruitful, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I extend a very cheerful welcome to our Chief Patron, Professor Arvind, our worthy Vice Chancellor and Dean Academics Affairs, Dr. Balveer Singh Sandhu, and Dr. Manjeet Singh Pathar, Dean Faculty of Engineering and Technology and Associate Dean Research of Punjab University, Patiala. Now, I invite Professor Arvind, Vice Chancellor, Punjab University, Patiala, to formal inauguration of the workshop and to address the audience.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. So we are presenting you a bouquet on the behalf of department. Kindly accept our wishes, sir.
Well, thank you very much for the bouquet. Thank you.
Sir, I request you please share your words with the audience.
I will do that. Can you just help me with one thing? In WebEx, how do I switch camera if I want to use the back camera? It doesn't seem to be.
Yes, sir. Sir, wait. Darshan, sir. Sir, ने front camera use करना.
Yeah, I'm using. You're able to see me, but I want to show you the audience something. So, how do I switch camera of my phone?
Sir, you have to share your screen. We are making you the presenter, and you can share your screen with us.
That's not possible because I didn't. Anyway, doesn't matter. Because the file is not on the phone, so I will not be able to share it. I thought I will just show it from my laptop by switching the camera. That would be faster if that is possible.
No, sir. You have to share your screen by making. We are making you the presenter.
No, don't do that because my file is not on my phone.
Okay,
Doesn't
sir.
matter.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay, fine,
So
sir.
I will manage. Don't worry. So first of all, I'm extremely thankful to the organizers, specifically Rita, and also the head of the department, Dr. Ranjit Kaur, for organizing this specific workshop. As it turns out, LaTeX is an extremely important platform for writing, for scientific writing as well as for non-scientific writing. I have been using LaTeX from 1991 onwards, and I've used LaTeX in all its forms and all its guises across languages. I have seen how LaTeX has now become very popular and a very, very important platform for doing anything. I would say if you are not typesetting and composing in LaTeX, then you are not really typesetting or composing. It's also an example of a free software which has outperformed commercial softwares in a big way. which basically means that the economic model that all development happens out of greed is wrong. LaTeX was developed for people by academicians, for themselves and so on, not looking at any profit motive. The kind of things you can do with LaTeX, you cannot do in any other platform, particularly for somebody like me who's a scientist and does a lot of scientific writing. LaTeX is a great tool. I must say one should not say LaTeX, one should say tech, because LaTeX is a kind of a meta program written on using tech. So one should always say tech to give the due credit to creators of tech. I'm very happy that this workshop is being organized. I've also asked any work being done in LaTeX should be shared with me. And what I'll do is, since I did not plan to share a PPT, let me just turn my camera towards my computer. So this is, can you see?
Yes, sir.
Computer screen. So this is Punjabi in LaTeX. All right.
Okay.
So then
That's
I will
great.
show you Hindi in LaTeX. Mathematical. Now you see, this is Hindi in LaTeX with mathematical equations. So the way
It's awesome.
forward to create content in Indian languages is LaTeX, particularly for science and mathematics and so on. And also LaTeX combined with the open source OS, various variants of Linux. So one thing I can tell this audience that please use open source. Don't pay for and buy license for Windows and all that and so on. Those are all commercial traps. All my life, what I've been doing is taking laptops from people who buy new laptops, because my colleagues who use Windows, after about 3 years, they want to buy a new laptop because they say our laptop has become slow. I asked them a question, have you started change what you are doing? They said no. Then if you have not loaded your laptop, how has that become slow? Because they have loaded a new version of Windows. So I say, you give me a new laptop, you give me your old laptop. I put a good version of Linux in it and I start using it, and for me it looks like a new laptop. So it's a commercial trap. You keep buying hardware and software. Use open source, LaTeX, and move forward. Today people are writing poetry books, novels, all literature published houses are moving towards LaTeX. So there is a lot of future for LaTeX now in not only science, mathematics, and academics, also in the publishing world and in regional languages. So I'm very happy. Maybe next workshop we will organize in this university will LaTeX for Punjabi, and maybe next year. And I've already told that we are bringing out a Punjabi University Linux version, which will have Punjabi University logo and Punjabi University marks, and that will also have a Punjabi LaTeX properly done with the front end in that distribution. So that's the project we are working in. Today's workshop is something very, very bad. I once again congratulate the organizers and I welcome our experts who have agreed to kindly be the resource person for this workshop. Well, I will not be able to attend the entire proceedings, but I will find out from the organizers what transpired in the workshop. Ideally, I would have given a session, but I am a little busy. But I've already told you that this is enough for young people to participate. They can pick up LaTeX very fast. LaTeX has gone all the way from a command line program to various front ends. You can do it using various front ends from a GUI platform and all that. But I must tell you, people like using command line, which saves a lot of time. Those are, we are old timers in this game, and therefore use editors like VI, command line prompts, and so on. In any case, I look forward to this program, and I'm very happy to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your blessings. Now I welcome and invite our main resource person, speaker of the day, Engineer Pavitdeep Singh. Pavitdeep Singh has 20 years of experience in developing and managing complex Windows and web-based applications using various technologies, softwares, and tools. Currently, he is working with NetWest Group as a lead software designer and managing different projects in investment banking pertaining to various domains like credit risk, market risk, and operational risk. Prior to joining NetWest Group, he has worked with Wipro Technology and Dell International Services at Bangalore and contributed towards the deployment of various projects globally. His work of interest includes operations research, design of nature inspiration optimization techniques, numerical optimization, soft computing, computational intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, artificial neural networks. Recently, he has delivered an expert talk on artificial neural networks during online FDP held at Central University Bathinda in December 2020. Now, I request Engineer Pavitdeep Singh ji to continue his workshop. Before his starting the workshop, I honored today's speaker with a bouquet. Sir, kindly accept our wishes for you.
Okay, thanks, ma'am.
Sir, over to you. Now you are the presenter and we will start the workshop.
Okay, thanks a lot, ma'am. Okay, first I would like to thank Dr. Arvind Tillo, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Punjab University Patiala, Dr. Balveer Singh Sandhu, Dean Academic Affairs, Dr. Ranjit Kaur, HOD Electronics Department, Dr. Manjeet Singh Bamra, Professor Electronics, Dr. Manjeet Singh Pathar, Dean Engineering, Dr. Richa Sharma, Assistant Professor Electronics, for giving me the opportunity to express my views to a huge gathering of intellectual minds from different parts of India. Additionally, I would like to thank all the Almighty for providing me the opportunity to interact with different people from different fields of expertise. Right. I know actually, so ma'am has spoken a lot of words about me, but, and I appreciate her gesture, but at the same time, I would like to tell you, I do not owe such appreciations as I'm still learning from all of you. I'm just like you. Lastly, I would like to thank all the faculty members and non-teaching staff for their help and support. Thanks a lot. Okay. Now let's get me started with the presentation today. Ma'am, just let me know when you're able to see my screen so that I can.
Yes, sir, it's visible. Yes, sir, visible.
All right. Thanks a lot. Okay. So I know actually, so our Honorable Vice Chancellor spoke a lot of things about LaTeX. Obviously, we should I understand actually we should be saying that the credit should go to the tech, not the LaTeX, which is kind of a library which is built on top of tech. So obviously we should kind of appreciate what has been a lot of effort has been put in kind of building this tech software, which is for now there for last 30 years. And people are using it actually from all walks of world. But unfortunately, we have seen it actually, it hasn't picked much in India, probably due to different various factors, which we'll initially discuss it and before kind of jumping into the kind of introduction part and see what are different features which LaTeX offers and how we can exploit those features and kind of come up with a technical document using technology. Okay, so before I just start with the basics, I remember one thing, and I would like to kind of give you a piece of advice. So when we talk about LaTeX, and the only way to learn LaTeX is to do LaTeX, to do tech. So if you don't do it, actually, then you won't kind of learn tech. And these are my initial words, which we'll see during the journey, which will go through it. And at the end also, I'm going to reiterate the same thing, because tech is a kind of a technology which is different from the other text processing software tools which are available. The most commonly one, the Microsoft one. So it has a kind of a different presentation, and it used some compilations to kind of come up with the document which you require to see. Okay. And okay, so I remember one thing actually. So it's going to be a journey like, okay, for example, when someone is kind of dreaming to go to a hill station, so we have some dreams, right? Actually, we dream we will go to a hill station, say, for example, Shimla, and then we'll see the sceneries and all the things around Shimla, and it will be a kind of a colder as compared to plain. So those thoughts kind of drive us to move to the hill station. But during the journey, we've encountered, some people encounter a lot of issues. For example, they're having kind of their heads revolving, and they start vomiting on the way, and they feel like, okay, why we have started with this journey? We shouldn't have kind of gone out, and we could have stayed at home. And a lot of thoughts cross your mind at that moment of time. But when finally you reach your destination, say for example a hill station, you really enjoy it. Actually, you know actually how much effort you have kind of spent and how much money you have spent, okay, reaching this place. So it's a kind of a similar journey for the tech people who want to kind of learn and kind of invest time, kind of understanding the technology, the features of the tech, and then probably kind of write their thesis, their manuscript, their synopsis in tech. So you will realize, okay, so what words I have kind of spoken now, you will realize as we'll go through it actually. Just give you a brief outline what we are going to do in the first session, and then probably in the afternoon session. So in the first session, I'm going to cover why LaTeX, why LaTeX, why tech, or to say in a simple words. Then what are the basic layout of a tech, and what are the features for the math and equation it provides, and how do we kind of write figures, and what about the table of contents, how the bibliography will be kind of written in case of tech editors. And then we will see actually what are different types of table available and which we can exploit it, and we can kind of understand, and then we can use it on our tech document. And finally, we will end up with having one or two examples on the plot side. So we'll see that actually how we can come up with a line plot for the tech users, basically. Okay, and probably in the afternoon session, we'll see if we get a time, we will go through one of the template for the conference, which is available from the IEEE side. We'll see actually what are different components, how we can kind of write a tech document, and what are the different sections, and what changes we have to make it to put our contents in that template, and then kind of forward or kind of send for publication purposes. And after that, there is another kind of a feature which is very powerful. Which is kind of a beamer presentation. We will see actually how we can make some good presentations and simple one using the LaTeX technology. So that's very useful, and I'm just keeping it secret at the moment. Why I have kind of taken that beamer presentation, and how it started in my life. What was the need for me to kind of explore to go with the beamer presentation when they are already available, say Microsoft Power presentation, which are quite powerful. Then what was the need behind opting that beamer presentation? I will kind of let you know at that moment when we will be kind of doing it. And after that, depending upon how much time we will have, then we'll see actually one of the theses written in tech technology, how to structure it actually, how to structure different chapters, how to structure the kind of list of equation, list of table, list of figures, and overall structure we will look at from the kind of analysis perspective, so that we can kind of adopt some of the good practices while writing a tech document. This is very essential, because otherwise you can be lost if you kind of do not kind of maintain some good hygiene coding practices for writing a tech document. So that is also quite important. So we will see as we kind of go through the journey. Just wanted to know actually, I know actually, so we have people having from faculty, from the researchers, So I just wanted to know actually, do we have a kind of people from the engineering background, or we are having from different background as well? And how much knowledge they already have on the tech side? Are they kind of new to tech, or if we can kind of get the feelers from the audience, if I can just get that feeler. Okay, no issues. Let's get started. Okay, the first thing is, so as I was talking it, so the first thing is, what can I do with tech? So obviously this has to be answered, then only probably this can motivate us or encourages us to kind of go with the tech technology. The first and the foremost is the high quality typesetting. I think in the introductory part, when our Honorable Vice Chancellor was kind of highlighting some of the feature of tech, so that is what that it was talking about, the quality typesetting. This is what's the need of the hour, and kind of with tech we can really produce some very high quality technical documents. I would say the best one. Okay, now the next one. It's a very low effort in building a document. Once you are kind of accustomed and you are kind of skilled up to kind of with the latest technology. So once you know the technology, you know the feature, you know the markup language, you know how the things are getting compiled, then it's just kind of a thing that you need to put the contents and then everything work for you. So that is so it's a very low effort. Obviously, the third one, with no money. Definitely, you do not require any money. So specifically, it was designed for the academicians, and it's not for a commercial person. But nowadays, a lot of people have come with the commercial aspect to it. But you really do not need it actually. So what you need is for the Windows one, probably you can have the MIGTech, which contains the base libraries which are required for the tech technology, and on top of it, either you can go with the command line, or you can opt for some GUI based softwares which you can kind of use it to build your documents. Throughout our tutorial, I will be kind of using the Text Studio, which is a freeware and you can kind of easily download from the site. So I have both the MIGTech, and on top of it, I have the Text Studio. We will see as we kind of go through it, and we build some examples, and we'll see actually what output it generates. Okay. Now, obviously, virtually software runs everywhere, whether it's a Linux, whether you are having a Mac or you are having a Windows system, it runs everywhere. So you don't have to worry about it. Actually, when I'm changing my laptop from the Windows to the Linux and I'm moving to Mac on, then what will happen with my tech documents? No, you don't worry about it. It runs everywhere. That is why LaTeX is the standard in academia and engineering, right? So it has been accepted worldwide now. Okay. So the thing, when you must use LaTeX, okay, if you're in academia, particularly the STEM discipline, STEM, with STEM, I mean scientific, technological, engineering, and mathematics. The people who belong to the STEM discipline must be using this LaTeX technology for building their manuscripts, building their research papers, building their thesis, and writing some articles, or if they have to kind of write some books. It's the best one. Okay, now, so when you're having kind of an abundant bibliography, if you're talking about say 200, 300 bibliography, then that is the time you must use the LaTeX one. And obviously, when you're using some formulas, I understand that the basic formulas are there everywhere. If you talk about in Word, it's there formulas. But when it comes to some complex formulas, probably it's near to impossible to kind of put those formulas in the in the document. But if some tool is providing that option, then probably it is via the LaTeX technology only. So it's top on LaTeX is behind the scenes, which is actually doing all this work. Now, okay. Now, when you expect figures, you know, best quality possible. Okay. So I know actually. So you talk about JPG, GIF, you talk about PNG, and every format is supported by different text processor, word processor at the moment. But specifically, if you talk about the SVG, which is a scalable vector graphic a picture quality, which is for the two-dimensional figures, which has some interactive modes. So probably LaTeX is the only one which can be kind of work with the SVG quality of figures. So at that time, we should be kind of using this LaTeX for building a solution. Obviously, when it comes to a kind of free solution, even you know that about the Microsoft one. So it's not a freeware. You have to spend a lot of dollars, buy the software, and then kind of use it. But with tech technology, yes, it's free, absolutely free. You don't have to worry about it actually. So a lot of packages, whatever is required is available on the net. You can freely download those packages. And moreover, the software, for example, the MIG-Tech is free to download. Then if you talk about the softwares like Tech Studio, they are readily available and freely available. Just download it, and every time you'll get a kind of every few months you'll get a new version and you can download and can run it freely. So it provides a kind of a complete solution free of cost. That's the best feature. Okay. Now, when you want to make it forward compatible, right? So we know that actually LaTeX is now kind of is there in the market for the last 30 years actually. And when the things comes to for the old documents, probably so you can kind of rewrite those in the LaTeX technology and kind of it's forward compatible. Okay. One entry point, several output formats. What does it mean? So probably one entry point mean one text file you're having and n number of output formats you can generate out of it. For example, the PDF document you can generate from it, the DIV you can generate, you can have an HTML output, you can have an XML output. So there are several output formats which can be generated for a single entry point of text file.
Pavitdeep ji, ਆਪਾਂ
Right.
ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੱਥ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ. Tech has not been in the market. That has been its strength. It has been available, but not for sale.
Right, right. No, it's not for sale. Like it's freely available for the academicians, actually. Right. Right, sir. All right. Okay. So the next thing, when we should be using it, when forget about document layout, because what happen is, if we kind of we document layout is already set up, then probably we don't have to change it. We just need to focus on our contents. It's as easy as possible. So you just kind of copy paste your content into the LaTeX, which is already document and layout has been set up. You put the content and compile it. That's it. It will work for you. So you don't have to worry every time what will happen if I just put this content, whether the kind of layout will change and then I have to readjust. Nothing. You don't have to worry about it. Simple. Just let the document layout is set up and just put the contents there. Okay. Now when it comes to who should use it, so that's a good question. So when you're kind of a new to LaTeX, I would say at this moment you can start using tech. So if you want to start a new project or looking at all the wanted offers, so that is the moment now. So you can start LaTeX now. Okay, you want your documents to stand out among others. So that is what I was telling, and this was the main point why I did explore tech. To be honest, no one has asked me to kind of write my MTech thesis in tech, but I opted. The reason behind I opted to go with the tech technology at that moment was it was kind of having a distinguishing kind of an output document. If you compare with the Word one, it's almost like there is no comparison with the Word output and the generated by Word and the output generated by the tech document. So it was having a very high quality document. Even it uses the different fonts which is not available in the Word. So that was kind of a starting point for me to kind of explore tech and kind of start exploring the options, the features, and then I kind of I wrote my MTech thesis using the technology. Okay. Now, and the other one is, okay, when you're kind of now looking at writing your own book, article, thesis, manuscript, and maybe sometime you are trying to self-publish it. I think now Amazon self-publishing, they are providing a lot of libraries actually through which you can kind of publish your own book. I think So it supports those formats which are required for the ebook one. I think the format is iMob, if I remember it correctly. So those kind of output you can generate using a tech. So it's such a powerful tool which can generate different types of output, as I said. Okay. Now, this is the thing actually where people get stuck, and they want to kind of, they do not want to follow the path of tech, and they say probably word is better than tech, or I'm happy with the word, with the MS Word world. I don't want to kind of jump to the tech world. The first thing, it is difficult. Okay. I I know that it requires a steep learning curve. If you ask me, if you compare both the software, say Word or say tech, obviously it's having a steep learning curve, but that's a journey which everyone has to go through it. But that is for once. That is not every time you have to kind of relearning the whole process. It's just for once. But I do not completely agree with this statement as well. When we talk about some simple basic features like table, figures, and documents, I think it's not so difficult. But obviously, some of the kind of tags markups are difficult initially and need some focused kind of work and kind of practice to kind of conquer all these markups, which can be used for writing a text document. But that is there. But for the some simple features, it's not difficult. So probably you can. It's an individual journey how you will go through it. Okay. Now the next point is I can't see what I'm doing. Right. People usually complain about this one. What does that mean? So whatever you're writing in tech is not what you're going to see it. So people tend to get confused because we are so eager. We just want to see how it will be kind of displayed, how it will look like. So that is the reason we complain about it. I don't understand how the things will get compiled, how the final document look like. But obviously, once you compile it, you can see the output. So even that is not of a big concern. Okay, next one is initially people feel that the figure do not appear where I want, because what happen is in case of a word, you kind of drag and drop things and put here and there and do a lot of things, and moreover you have a control with the mouse and you can do a lot of things with the figures as well. But in case of tech, you have to write the code, right? So you have to dictate in the code itself that where the figure should be kind of positioned within a document, whether it's on the same page, next page, it's bottom, it's in the middle, it's where you have kind of put the code. So you have to mention it. If you do not mention it properly, then obviously you will get kind of confused and you start disliking the software. I don't know, I have put this code, but it doesn't work actually. But to be honest, if I tell you, if you put the correct options or the positioning values for the figures, then it will give you the excellent results. It will do its best to kind of position the figures for your document, which you might not have think about it. So that's the beauty of tech. Okay. The last one, I can't easily change the layout of my doc. Okay, understood. Obviously, yes, not everyone can change the layout of document. Obviously, you have to get some level of expertise to kind of change, to work with the layout and kind of come up with your own document classes and manipulate the things. But obviously, it's not required everywhere. For example, if you talk about, say, if you're publishing a paper with IEEE conference, then they have provided you the template. Why do you want to change the layout of the document? So everything they have mentioned it exactly. They just want your content. That's it. Put your contents, compile it, build it, and just send them the binaries, the files, for them to kind of go for the peer review process or whatever process they follow after for the publishing of a document. So that's right, actually. But obviously, if after some time, probably you can start looking at changing a layout as well, actually, but not in the very initial stages. Fine. Okay. Now let's look at what is the typesetting language. So probably if you have heard about it, so we are having an HTML. So everyone now use the browser actually, and whatever code we are seeing on the HTML on the browser, most code is written in the HTML files. So So if you look at the HTML5, which is different from what you're seeing on the website, that is what exactly the tech is doing it. So in the tech also you are seeing some kind of markup tags, and then kind of some different environments, some tags have been put, and in between the tags you are putting the content, and then finally when you compile it, the document comes up with a real shape and with the exact positioning of figures, table, everything. So that's how exactly it works. So tech is a very, very powerful typesetting language that is popular in scientific writing. So which we have already seen it again. Now, okay, coming to the basic layout. So the tech document is it's a pretty simple one actually. So if you look at it, it's having different control statements, which defines how your content should be formatted. So, right. So you have both the control statement and the content. The control statement dictates how your content should be formatted and rendered on the kind of a different output, which is available, for example, a PDF one, or on the HTML side or on the XML side. Okay. Right. So the compiler, what it does is it basically takes your .tex file. So okay, every file we start with for a tech, is having an extension .tex file. So we have to kind of save that file with .tex file extension, and then probably compile it. It will generate by default the PDF file. So you can it's basically a text document which is generated to the PDF. Okay, so the basic document example, I've just kind of mentioned it for your understanding is, so as you can see it actually, it's a document class. So probably there are different options which are available. The most widely used, we use the article one, and we are having, say, for the report book as well. So we are having a document class command, and then we are having the begin document. Now the begin document is kind of which will elaborate more. It is kind of an environment under which we can kind of write the whole document, which will elaborate. We will see some more kind of different environments available in the tech and see how it gets rendered. But on a very high level, so if you look at this document, this begin document, hello world. So what it will do is it will simply print on one page the hello world message. That's it. So that's what this example is all about. Okay. Okay, so as I said, actually, so we are having different commands. So you can see it actually. The command format is basically you have a slash, then the command name, the option which are available. So generally, so if you talk about a text document, which is kind of divided in two parts, one is the part which is kind of before the begin document statement, which is a preamble. So we call it preamble. So basically, it's not what you're going to see it. So it's basically, it has some features like, okay, the package name, the additional new commands you want to create it, the title, the date you want to set it for the particular document. So all these things will be a part of preamble. Right, and after the kind of a slash begin document, we are having the actual content, which will be kind of rendered using the various commands environment available in the tech world. Okay, fine, probably. Okay, so if you look at one of the basic structure now is having a document class, the article, then slash title, my first document. Then you can, this is the title of the document, which we can mention it, the date you can mention it, the author, and then these title, date, author, as you can see, these constitute the preamble for the document. And after the begin document statement, we are having, say, make title, new page, hello world, then the end document. Right. So what does this make title do is basically it will create a title for your text document. So it will display, okay, my first document, then the date, then the author name on the first page. And that after that, we are having a new page. On the next page, you will see the hello world document. Probably see actually as we go along this journey, we will do some kind of hands-on as well, and we'll see actually what output it really generates. So don't worry about it at the moment. Okay, so wherever I need, probably I will kind of I will stop and I will kind of show you how the output get rendered. Okay, now it's the same thing actually. Again, the title page, but with a kind of a different commands to I have put it here actually. So one, if you look at is a page numbering global with the option I have provided a global one. And then we are having page numbering Arabic actually. So what does it mean actually? So what happened is I said actually, so when you kind of generate a PDF document for this one, so what will happen is on the very first page, you will have a page number. And if you want to kind of remove that page numbering on the initial title page, then probably you have to use this option, page numbering, with a kind of option global. So the page numbering will start from the next page, because the next page we have kind of mentioned, again, we have kind of a page numbering Arabic, we have mentioned it. So if you want to see this thing in action, I can do that. So probably just copy this one. This is a text studio, I'm having it. So let me just open a window. Let me put this one. It's fine. Okay, just let me know if you are comfortable with the font you're able to see. Otherwise, I can just increase this font as well. I think it should be better now. Right? Perfect. Okay, just let me know if you still have any problem. I think now it's I've increased the size of sufficient level. So now this is what I was talking about.
It's visible, sir. It's
Perfect.
visible, perfectly visible.
Okay, thanks a lot, man. Okay, so now if we look at this one, at least, let me move. This is okay. This is a title page which I was talking about. Okay, this is my title, the author name, and the date. So this was first page. But if you look at, you don't see the page number here, because why? I have kind of put this statement. So if you look at the next page, hello world, you can see it very clearly, and the numbering starts from here. So if I kind of remove this one, okay, I don't care. Okay, let me just build this one. Probably now. Can you see this one on the title page itself? So title page, we have a title page where we can see the number. So this was a basic thing which I want to kind of showcase to you. Okay, let me quickly move on now. The next slide. Okay, so the text paragraph section. Okay, so the basic structure consists of various sections, subsections. That is what we used to normally do in case of a word as well. Actually. So we are having different sections, subsection. In case of a text, we use these kind of syntax for creating a section, slash section, and then the name of the section which we need to put here in the braces, and subsection, subparagraph, paragraph, and all these things. Okay, we'll see an example likely how we will do that actually. Okay. Okay, so normally the difference between the section and the paragraph section is the section are numbered, whereas while we talk about the para, they are numbered and they won't show it in the table of contents. So if you are having a requirement where you do not want, okay, your paragraph to come up in the table of content, then you can use the paragraph commands. Otherwise, if you want specifically, okay, it should appear in the sections one, it should appear in the table of content, then definitely you have to use the section one. Okay. So we'll take some examples as we go through it quickly. So let me just show you one simple one. Okay. Let's take an example how it works. Just compile it. F5 is a shortcut for building this one, not given a title. Okay. So why it has kind of now alerted us? Because if you remember, we have kind of using the make title, which requires the title parameter to be set in the preamble, but we don't have a parameter. That's why it's complaining it. So you have to be kind of aware of it. First time it's very difficult, but as you kind of work with it, you come to know actually. So this is how it's going to, okay. Let's remove this one. We don't need that. We already done this one. We will just work with the section one. Okay. Now section, as you can clearly see, this is section one, hello world. That's what we did. And under that, we are having subsection, which is 1.1 subsection. And it clearly is having some text underneath it. Is that fine? And probably if you want to have some others, say under this one, subsections. So you can write, okay, my subs, yeah. And then you can put some content here. I'm just typing some rubbish here. Okay. Okay, fine. So here you get the output. So 1.1.1, my subsection, and this is how you can keep on adding multiple sections and multiple subsections, and under subsection you can have another thing on this. Okay, let's quickly move on back to. Okay, so we have done this one. Okay, now it's having the same. Its code is having with the hierarchy of sections. As I already reiterated that So within section, you can have subsection, then other subsections, then probably you can have some paragraphs after that, some paragraph, then again, you can define your section based on your requirement and individual needs. Is it fine? Okay, let's move. Just let me know, let me just stop then and there if you are not able to understand anything, because it's very, very important that we understand the directives, the syntax, the commands which are we are going to work with it actually. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to grasp the concept and kind of write your own tech documents. So just let me know actually if you feel anywhere, if you feel like you're heavy or you are not able to digest the things, just ping me or just let me know. Fine. Okay. Now let's see. The other thing is the tech packages. Okay. What tech packages do? So it provides a lot of functions inbuilt actually. So you can kind of exploit, import those packages in your tech document and kind of make the thing work for you. So you don't have to kind of write a huge line of code to kind of get your things completed. It's a simple kind of command, which is a use package one, which you can write in the preamble of your document and then probably get the package imported to your document and kind of do some wondering for your document. Okay, so fine. We'll see. As we go along, we'll see, use some packages, obviously. What's on journey? Okay. So, okay, installing a package. So I should not be spending much time. Okay, it's a Linux, Mac. It's most packages are already installed in by default. And you usually don't need to kind of reinstall those packages. But when it comes to MikTeX bundle, obviously you have to download each and every package which you want to use, which is not there in the original or the basic version of MikTeX to your local, to the directories, and then only you can kind of include those in your document and get the things working. But if I talk about the Text Studio, which I'm using it for a couple of years now, so what happens is if when I start kind of importing new packages, prompts come up saying that this particular package is not installed. Do you want to allow us to kind of install it from some of the reliable sources from the internet? So if you say yes, okay, it automatically download and then it will compile it actually. So mostly now it's quite easy. So you don't have to kind of looking for those packages and getting installed from my MikTeX. So kind of some other helping tools like Text Studio and other GUI like TechLive, you can get it installed automatically as well. Okay. Now let's quickly move on to purpose. Wow, this is exciting, obviously. So let's take an example. We understand by taking an example. So first thing is among an environment called equation. Okay, what is an environment which we call in the world of tech? Okay, so let me just quickly explain you what the environment means. For example, if I'm saying so this is, if you look at this now, I'm not sure whether you're able to see this. There's a very small font. It's written environment name. So that is what inside the begin and inside the end tags, we define an environment in which certain rules apply based on what environment we have chosen. So it will apply to all the commands, to all the statements which are written between the begin and of a particular environment. For example, if we talk about say array or say large, anything you can take it, say center. So whatever content we are putting inside this one, it will be centered aligned. So that is what an environment means. So if I say now this center is an environment defined, and whatever type of content, whatever I'm including inside this begin and end will be kind of center aligned. So there are different environment. For example, for writing equations, you can have a equation environment. So what it will do is it will treat those things, whatever is written inside this one, say with a math or some equation, and it will kind of render it accordingly. So for example, say
Mute.
I write fx is equal to
ਲੱਸੀ ਪੀ ਕੇ ਵੇਖ ਲੈ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਨੂਨ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ
x here.
ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਪੀਤੀ
Now
ਨਹੀਂ
see,
ਬਈ ਪਤਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੀਵਾਂਗੇ
I request all the participants kindly mute your mics, please. I request
Okay.
all the participants kindly mute your mics.
So as you can see it actually, so I have used this equation environment in which I have kind of written some mathematical equation. And if you look at the output actually, so how good it has kind of put it in the document itself. So I have just put fx is equal to x hat 2. Hat is used for the power 1 in LaTeX actually. So this is how you can write your own equations. And the beauty of this equation environment is that at the right hand side, you can see the numbering automatically inserted for the equations. So that's what actually. So you just have to kind of worry about your contents and everything. Leave it everything to the tech to kind of consider how many equations you are having within a kind of your document. Ma'am, I can hear my echo. Is my am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Kindly check your other system. You have joined from two systems.
No, my other is already on mute. So there's no sound actually. So you can see it very clearly. So I've crossed it actually. But now only I just started getting the echo one. Otherwise, previously it was fine actually.
No, sir, now it's okay. Sometimes,
Fine. Okay, that's okay, ma'am. Fine. No issues. Okay. Just let me know when you're not able to kind of properly hear my voice. Okay. Let's now quickly move on. So this is what I mean by the environment. I suppose you understand, right? Actually. So this is the same example. You can see it here. Okay, so this is what we have kind of done now. So we have just output the fx is x here again. Now, okay, it's the same example, but if you look at it in a kind of a bit clearly, you will find the difference. So difference here is if you look at this begin equation environment, there is an asterisk which is added to the equation 1. So it definitely it will have some significance, right? Actually, so if you want to explore it, then probably just change this one, the equation from normal to the asterisk one, and see and observe the results yourself. Okay. I think, oh yes, we missed one thing here. So whenever we have to kind of use the asterisk one, then probably we have to kind of import one file, which is the AMS math file. So this is what we will do now because that was not there in a document. So probably just use this one to have additional features which is available with the math library. So there we go. Okay, so now you see it. It's the same output. Can you find out what the difference was with the asterisk and without an asterisk? Can somebody point me out? If you have kind of seen my previous output which I have generated, is there a different or it's the same one?
So equation number is not present now.
That's perfect actually. At some places we do not intend to have that kind of numbering automatically generated for all the equations. In that scenario, we can use the equation with a kind of asterisk. That's absolutely. Thanks for letting us know. Perfect. Okay, let's quickly move on. Okay, so the inline math. Perfect. Okay, this is the embedded one actually. So you do not need to kind of import any libraries if you are having some simple equation as what we have seen in the previous slide now. So you can do that actually simple in a very simple form, just kind of encompass or enclose with a kind of a dollar sign before and after a statement. Simple. That's it. Just get rid of all these things. Don't put all these things. Just simply put a dollar sign here, put a dollar sign here at the beginning. And then at the end, after you are done with your statement, that's build it actually. So this is how it's going to be. I think it's fine, right? Okay. Let's quickly move on. Okay. This equation with the align environment. Okay. Sometimes what happens is actually you are working with multiple equations actually. The equation environment which we have seen so far works with only one equation. In case you are having multiple equations, then probably you can use the align within equation environment to kind of align your equation what you have written so far. For example, let's see. You want to give it a try. Let's quickly give it a try. Okay. So we'll just copy this one, whatever is required. Okay. And okay, let's put this one. Yes. Okay. So as you can see it actually, just one thing, okay, because I have used a kind of a Beamer presentation for making my presentation. I put those extra slashes in between it again. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, now you see it actually. Now see how it works. So it's a perfect alignment. If you look at it actually, so can somebody tell me actually how it has been aligned at what character or what special thing it has been kind of aligned at? So if you look at it, it's aligned at the equal sign. So that's what we have mentioned it here. Ampersand tell the equation editor that we need to write multiple equation, but we have to realign it with the alignment with the equal to sign. That's all we have kind of mentioned in the align environment. Okay. It's simple pretty. Okay. Let's move on actually. The equation in the line environment. Okay, as I said actually, so we are having a kind of a environment in which we want to kind of multiple equations and we want to do the automatic alignment. So we can use this one. Sorry. Okay, now, okay. Now look at some of the more features like the fractions, how the fractions can kind of published or printed to the text document. So we can use this kind of a code actually. So fraction is you have to use a command like slash FARC fraction. Then you have to put the first parameter, the second parameter. Then if you see the output, so it's going to be kind of a GX is 1 by X. This is how it will get rendered. Same code we can put in the text studio and see it as well. Actually. So for example, the FX1, the integral of AB, it looks difficult actually. I understand actually, but the main thing, please remember, do not forget any open and closing braces. Everything should be kind of perfect. Otherwise, single change, single missing can result in an error and you won't be able to compile and you will kind of spend your whole day sometimes actually searching for the error, what mistake I have made it actually. So the only thing while kind of working with the tech is to make sure you are having whatever command you're using it in entirety. So you're not missing any braces and anything actually. Otherwise, your life will be screwed, I can tell you. Okay, so it looks very weird actually if I have to kind of interpret this what INT is. Okay, so this is the output which we are getting it. So you won't be sometime you will not be able to kind of understand what does it mean. Okay, probably what you can do is actually I do that actually. It's up to you. There are a lot of things through net which you can do it. There is a site called Host Math. Probably you can exploit that site and kind of drag and drop or click on the things and kind of generate the tag code for you. So if you want to have a look, okay, let me see if I can open it actually. Yes. Cool, fantastic. It's getting open. So this is a site actually Host Math. Just remember it if you want to try out. If you're having some formula, that is what I usually do actually. So you can put some formulas here. At the left side, you can see okay how to put the square root and what's the syntax for a raised to a. Everything you can see it actually. A lot of things you can see, and then at the bottom you can see the result. For example, if I change it say 4. So you can immediately it's getting compiled and you can see the output. So this is how I used to kind of work with the equation. So what I used to do is actually I just copy this one and then I will take it to a text editor and then put that code here actually. So if you see it actually, so I have to enclose in. Okay, that's it actually. So this is how it's going to be. Fine. So I think it's good actually because otherwise sometimes we are lost actually. We do not know actually whether we have kind of put the right braces, opening, closing, and everything. We have used the perfect syntax or not for the equation. So you can go to the net and search for a lot of free libraries, free tools which you can exploit and then kind of write your equations. Okay, great. Let's move on. Okay, so similarly for the matrix, it's one of the most widely used in any kind of a scientific documentation of matrix. I think everyone works with this one or might have worked, right? So for example, okay, so you have a kind of a matrix in an environment which you can define it. Okay, so So this is corresponding the first row, the second row, and ampersand is, for example, the first row and then the first column, and then ampersand is a kind of bisecting the different columns which are there in the matrix. So this is first cell, this is second cell of the first row, and similarly you can have for the first cell of the second row, and this one correspond to the second row, second cell, and the output it generates it. But okay, sometimes you can use there is a kind of a bracket which is already available. You can exploit the bracket like this, but it won't work. It won't kind of completely enclose all the 1 zeros and the matrix one. So you can see the output what it has generated. So to kind of avoid that one, you have to use this /left option. So what it does is actually, so whatever you're kind of enclosing with the /left and /right, it will be completely enclosed with that bracket. For example, if you see this one, so you can now see 1 0 0 1 completely kind of enclosed in this one, and you can have a larger matrix as well. For example, 3 to 3 dimensional, 4 to 4, whatever dimensional you, if you use this one, it pretty much it work for you. I think this is what your intention is to kind of when you are kind of writing a scientific document for the matrix equation. Okay. Now this is one of the most important features in tech, and every document I'm sure must have figures actually in their documents actually. So this is very important to understand. Okay, let's understand this what we require to do in case we have to kind of insert some images in a tech document. So first one is you can export the package graphics, and then what environment it use? It use a figure environment /begin document, and then we have /end figure. So this is the environment which we have kind of created for displaying our figure. So as you can see it, we use the command include graphics. We can mention the width, okay, whatever width we want require in that particular for the particular figure. So in this case, for example, the option which we have provided line width. So line width is probably the line width which is available for your document. It will kind of occupy all that space. And the last one is the image as a path name. So probably I have used the figures one because according to the best practices, you have to kind of put your figures in a kind of a figures folder or any folder actually, which only should have figures for your tech document, so that it's not kind of a messed up and you're not wasting time on searching those things inside your particular folders. So I'm having the habit that I put all the figures whichever required for document under the figures folder, and then this is a file name which need to be kind of inserted in the document. And then the next one is the caption, a simple one. What a caption you want to put for that particular image, you can mention it here. The label is important actually. So label, how it works is probably you are putting a label and you want to refer somewhere in the document, so you can use the /ref. Then you can provide the label name here. Whatever I have label name, I have used it. I have to use the same label name. Then I have to put some text, whatever if it is required, you can put that one. Then what it will do is basically say, as you can see it, it has kind of inserted the figure in the document. It has given a caption. It has kind of width, it has taken whatever we have mentioned it, and then figure one shows about. Okay, now this is pretty important actually, and pretty easy as well actually, when we are working with a large kind of a thesis or a kind of a document having say 100 or 200 of pages, in which you do not want to waste your time kind of working with figures and giving them the numbers, and sometimes you kind of remove one figure and add another figure. So you don't want to take that headache. So what you want is automatically do the work for me. I don't want to kind of label those, refer those numbers, figure one, figure two, whatever. So that's the magic it does here actually. It one refer, depending on how many figures you are having in the document itself, it will kind of put the figure one, figure two, figure. It will mention it automatically to generate the codes, and then it will kind of put wherever you're referring what figure, it will put the number automatically there. So you don't have to worry about how the figure is getting kind of rendered and how it's getting labeled and referred and all the things. Okay, I think pretty much, okay, let me see. The figure environment takes care of the numbering and precision. Okay, fine, absolutely, that's right. So as I said, actually, so it takes care of your numbering and positioning as well. So positioning, but we haven't used it, the features for the positioning, we will see later on how we can use that one. Okay, in order to include figure, you must include graphic there. Yes, we did that. Okay, width option, we have already discussed the line width to scale the image to fit the width of document. That's what I said. Okay. The next one is we set in caption, which is a text shown below. Okay, caption, we have done it. The label, which is invisible. That's right. Which is used to refer to the figure. Perfect. Okay. Now the reference command, which also we have seen it just now, that it's used to kind of refer to a figure, particular figure in the kind of in your text document. That's fine. Okay. Cool. Let's see now. Let's talk about the positioning, which is very important. I said in the initial slides, when people started complaining about the figure positioning, they said, okay, I don't know why the figure has moved to this page or that page. Actually, I do not have a control. It's the tech which is doing all these things. Now, okay. So what you can do is that to prevent from that behavior, to kind of you do not want to the positions to be moved, then you can set a one float value for the figure environment. So this is what, so this is a figure environment, we can see it actually, and this is what we have kind of given a value here actually. We have provided here a small h exclamation. We will explore what it does and what are the other options, float values, which are available for us to exploit and kind of position our figures, right? Okay. So, okay, let's see. Okay, so some possible values of float are h here, same location. What does that mean? So wherever I'm having the kind of a begin figure environment, where I mentioned I want the figure to be there only. I do not want it to be moved, because what happened is tech is very intelligent and it does a lot of things on its own. You don't have to tell tech to kind of position. So if you don't mention anything, tech will kind of find the best position for your figure and automatically kind of build the document. But sometimes we are annoyed, and we after seeing the result, we said, no, this is not the place where I want the figure to be placed, and it doesn't look good or whatever. So you can have those float values. For example, H, you can same location, say T, top of page, B, bottom of that page, P, on the extra page or the next page. So probably, so you can use that one, and exclamation mark for the override will force the specified location. So now you understand why I have put kind of a H exclamation A, that it is forcing that particular figure to be on the same where I have kind of mentioned that environment, and I'm forcing it. So that's one. That's what I did with this one. But sometimes it also it doesn't work actually. So in that case, we can look for some of the more stricter options like H capital, which is quite stricter than H exclamation mark. So you can explore. So just kind of a build one image, and then you can explore all these options and see how the position get changed by changing those values. Okay. If I quickly ask you one question, if somebody can answer. So what will happen is, if I kind of in the begin figure, if I just put HTPB, what will happen actually? I put all the options here, float values. Can anybody answer what output and how the position will get changed? Whether it will be based on HTPB, what will happen? I put all the options here. Can anybody? Okay, so do one thing, probably you can explore this option, or if you do not get an answer, then just ask me towards the end of the session. I probably can answer to your answer in that last session.
I request the participants be interactive with the speaker.
Okay, let's move on. Now, multiple images and subfigures in tech. This is another thing. So what will happen is, sometimes you are having, say, one main image, and inside that figure, you are having, say, subfigures as well, which you want to kind of caption with a single label. So, and you want to refer with a single label as well. So you do not want to have kind of a figure environment, but you kind of having a sub-figure environment where you want to club all the figures together, want to show it in one place, and kind of having individual captions and individual caption names, and then kind of a consolidated kind of a label and consolidate one label as well. So what you can do is actually you can exploit this package, which is a use package sub caption one. So this you can kind of put in your PML, right? So we'll see, actually, we'll take an example. I think we should be looking at this one from the code perspective as well. Okay, so how this work is, so you are having a figure environment. Inside the figure environment, you will have a couple of sub-figure environments, which you can mention it actually, and you can mention the width and then the image where it is there and the caption for the for your sub-figure. And subsequently, you can put as many sub-figure you can put within a
Excuse me, sir. I
figure.
have one question right now.
Please go ahead.
Sir, we are giving here the path of a figure like coffee.jpg. From where it is coming, because it is
Okay.
not a full path.
Okay. Good question. Perfect. I'll just explain you again. So we'll just take you through an example and explain this fact. Okay. So I'm already having a sample figures here, which I wanted to go through it. Okay. So, okay, sample figure. As you can see it actually. So I have mentioned here a figures folder, right? And under that I have a board and coffee. Similarly, for coffee, I have used this figures folder. Under that figures folder, I have a coffee, right? Figure. So if you want to see how it actually works, so this is my working folder. This is where my text file resides, right? This is a sample figure folder, sample figures text file, which resides under this particular folder. Now, what will this is basically the root directory I'm talking about. Under this folder root directory, I am having a figures table. So what the tech will do is it will, if I'm kind of compiling from this side actually, then it will look for a figures folder under this folder actually. You're getting it? Now I have put kind of a coffee board, whatever images I have included here actually. So this is how it's going to work. So if you are having, for example, say you are having a new folder, say another. So if I'm kind of putting this coffee figure under this one, then what will happen is now here it's searching for under the figures folder. But if I compile it, it's not going to work actually. It's going to complain. It's complaining figures coffee not found because it's looking under the figures folder for the coffee file, which is not there. Now, which we have kind of moved to another folder. If we have to make it working, we have to put that folder, say figures and another, then coffee.jpg, right? So if you build it actually, so probably now you won't get an error here, but similarly, but you are getting errors here. So what you need to do is at every place where you are referring to the coffee file, you have to change the path to make it working. Or other way around is to remove it. Let's see how it works. If we kind of again move our file from this one and kind of put under this one. Right now we have kind of moved this coffee here file. Now we build it. It won't complain. Simply it has generated. This is what the output would look like. So as you can see it with the figure, it's having a caption. Oh, sorry, this was for the previous one. So this is what I was talking about, the sub figure. Okay, so now this figure too, it's having a common or a kind of a consolidated label as the caption as the same cup of coffee, but it also has a kind of an individual caption for the individual subfigures. This is what you will get out of it, right? Getting it? And I'm having some kind of another in which I'm having say 4 subfigures. Then you can see the result as this one again. So you can, oh, it will get rendered. And this is why, because I have kind of set the width for the last figure to 0.5 of the line width again.
Sir, I got your point here, but I have one more question now.
Please tell me.
Then my second question is, if I am using Microsoft Doc file, and at the same time, if I am using the LaTeX as well, and if I am inserting something in Microsoft Doc document, and if I delete the file from the suppose figure folder, it will still be in my document file. Okay. But if I will delete the file from figure folder, it won't display in my LaTeX.
No, I didn't get your question. Can you come again?
I'm again saying, suppose I'm building a same document with
Okay.
LaTeX as with Microsoft document as well.
Okay.
And I'm inserting the same copy file in Microsoft Doc document. Okay.
Okay.
And after inserting, if I delete the file from figure folder, the image will still remain in my document file. On the same time, it will not be appear in LaTeX file.
Okay. So there are two different things actually. So if you talk about the Microsoft Word, it basically embed the document as an object itself in the document. So what happens is, so it's not referring it to a particular folder, right? So once we are kind of taking a picture, inserting into a Word document, it's embedded within the document itself. So it doesn't require the file part. If you remove the file, it doesn't matter to the Word document. But in case of a LaTeX, it doesn't do that, right? Every time when you compile it, you're clearly mentioning from this path you have to, and with this file name you have to pick the file. If you didn't find it, it won't get compiled actually. So this is how
we need to perform some extra effort for saving the figure folder.
Absolutely, that's right. In very short, yes. You have to have all your figures with you if you want to kind of build your tech document. That's right.
Thank you, sir. I got it.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay. Let's quickly move on now. I think it's clear, right? The figure, sub-figure, how it can display it, and what's the width size we can set it. Okay. So this is fine actually. Okay. Now let's see, quickly look at another feature, which is a table of contents. This is pretty interesting and pretty easy as well. So what you have to do is simply you have to put one line of command called the So one line of command called table of contents here, as you can see it. This will do the magic for you. So you don't worry about it. Inside your begin document, put table of contents, and okay, you can define subsection, all these things. This is how it will get rendered. So this is the beauty of it. Just a single line of code. Fine. Okay, now list of figures and tables. Okay, it works in a similar way. So again, you don't have to worry about it. You have to just simply define where you want. For example, if you want in the appendix side, you can put inside the appendix environment, you can define the list figures and list of tables. That's it simply. It will list whatever figures you are using in the document, whatever table you are listing in a document, it will list on the document. But if you want they should be on a separate page, then probably you can use a kind of a page break or a new page here in between the list of figures and list of tables, so that these two things should be displayed on a different page rather than the same one. Right. So as you can see it actually, because it's appearing on the same page, the reason being I haven't used here a new page or a kind of a line page break. So if you do that, it will be on different page. Fine.
So the best thing which I get right now from up to this slide is the best thing. That numbering which is accurately placed on equal position. The numbering about the figures, the captions about the figures. Now, in case of list of figure, that particular dummy figure and ... and 2 is there, and everything in correct position.
Absolutely.
In case of Microsoft document, we need to put it ourselves.
Right. You will struggle sometimes. You will screw the document sometimes. It's such a mess actually in the Microsoft world. I can tell you actually that's what I'm telling you. No one has kind of asked me to kind of do my thesis in the tech side, but when I came to know the features, what all things it provides, I was like, I could control myself. I thought I will learn this one on my own, and I did that actually. So I haven't kind of gone through any kind of formal trainings and tutorials to learn about it actually. And I would recommend you. Probably it's not, you can go through the whole complete set of tutorials before kind of building your kind of tech document. Start building slowly, actually. Start understanding small concept and try to implement things. This is how you will learn it. There is no other way. I can tell you a lot of commands and all these things, and I know actually. So after a day or two or after a week of time, you will forget. We tend to forget, right? Like not you actually. We tend to forget. It's same for everyone. So that's all. Just kind of try to understand the basic concepts and try to understand advantage it offers, and then kind of try to build on top of it actually. And you'll see later on when some will come to the bibliography one. It's an awesome. It's an awesome that can save your life. I can tell you. That's what happened with me. So, okay, thanks for appreciating it. Okay, so let's quickly move on. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so we have seen. Okay, now I was talking about the depth one. So what happened is actually sometimes you are this is another feature for the table of content specifically. Okay, what happened is I'm only interested in, say, for example, the section one. I just want only the section should be included in the kind of a table of content, not the subsection, the subsection. So you can just using one statement, you can restrict the subsections, and subsections. So all these things. So as you can see it actually. So there is a command set counter TOC depth, table of content depth we have mentioned with the number 1. It will only show the sections in the table of content. Forget about subsection, all these things. Just with one command, you can change the whole thing. Okay, if you change to 2 subsection and similarly for 3 subsections. So this is how you can control it actually. And the beauty is even you can do it for the individual sections. For example, for one section, I just want to have a kind of a depth I've set for one. For example, section 1, I just want to have the sections, not the subsections to be listed. But for the another section, I want the section as well as subsection to be included in the table of contents. I can do that actually. So very easily. So we can do it actually. So how we can do it? So this is the code for that one. If you require, probably I can share in the last as well, but you can find a lot of tutorials on the internet itself actually, how you can do that. So what you can do is add to content, set the counter depth 1. Okay, so now after that, after this movement, what will happen is now it has set the counter TOC to 1. So only, say for example, if we are now introducing section 1, subsection, it will only kind of put the section 1, and whatever we are kind of we are changing, for example, setting the set counter to depth 3. Now after that, it will kind of putting the section, subsection, and subsection. So you can control for individual sections and within those sections, okay, at to what level, at to what depth you want to kind of include subsection or subsection into the table of contents, right? I think you fairly understand the concept here, right? Just let me know if you have any doubt on this one. Okay. Another one with the table of contents is the kind of a changing the height or the space we talk about in tech. So for example, if you want to kind of double the space between the table of contents vertically, then you can use this package use space set space is a package which offer that feature. Then what you can do is before the table of contents, you can say double spacing. I want every entry in the table of content to have a kind of a double spacing, right? By default, it has a single spacing. So you can do that actually. So you can exploit that one with a double spacing command, and then you can see how it works actually. Fair enough? Okay. Now let's talk about one of the critical things, and which is quite useful as well when we talk about the tech, and it's one of the most fascinating features which I have kind of explored at the moment, and which kind of provided me the kind of motivation to go with the tech, because I was kind of very scared working with the references when the things come to the Microsoft world. So I don't know actually what's the alternative, but when I just looked at tech, I was quite happy. My life was kind of changed completely. So how it works is basically, so in case of a tech world, in the tech world, what we usually do is we create a .bib file. Bib file basically contain all the references which are used or referenced in your tech document or in your thesis. For example, if you're writing a thesis, you are having say 200 entries. you can it's kind of a database file. You can create it actually in the format which is shown here. For example, @book, then we are having opening braces. We are giving a tag name here, which will refer while using a .bib file. Then author, we can provide title, everything you can put. And don't worry about it. These entries can be generated automatically as well through a open source available like the big text generator. You can do it, and there will be some other tools as well. But honestly, I haven't explored those tools. I have because I want to do everything manually, and I want to explore things on the website. I did it manually and find out what error it generates and all these things. I've gone through that pain and through that journey as well, I would say. So pain, I know it's just a one-time pain when you're not kind of familiar with the environment, you face those issues. But obviously, as you start working with it, actually, you will start enjoying it and start experiencing the different errors and building your own experience with issues and all these things, and hope to overcome those issues as well. So right, so this is what simply we need to put in a bib file for all the entries. So this will generate basically a .bib file, and then you can refer that particular entries within your text document. How you can do that? Okay. Now, so we have seen there is a citation command. So /cite, you can provide whatever name you are putting for a particular entry with the tag name. The same tag name, you can use it, and then you can cite that one within your document. The beauty is here. So for example, I have put 200 entries, and later on I know actually one of the paragraph in my thesis need to be removed, which also contains say 2 to 3 entries of the citation. So probably just you can go ahead and remove that paragraph. You don't have to worry about it. Apart from this, you don't have to do anything, just compile it. So what will happen is, so when the output will get generated, it will not have that paragraph, obviously, because we have removed it. Moreover, under your references section in the last, you won't find the entries for the 3 citation which you have recently removed it. So what exactly do all the work automatically. So whatever a references which you are referring within your text document will only get listed in the end under your reference section. It won't have any extra references. So that's the beauty. That's the power of, and because we are worried what will happen if I remove entry and if I update an entry. Nothing will happen actually. So just remove whatever things you want to remove, update it actually, but it should be referred in the a .bib file, and things will work for you seamlessly. I mean, okay. Now this is how it get cited. Okay. Now what else we have to do it to make the thing happen for us is, in the case of bibliography, you have to provide a bibliography with the a reference file. For example, the reference is a .bib file. So you don't have to specify the complete name. Say, for example, reference bib, you can just specify the file name without extension, say reference. So if you want to see it, actually what I did is here, and how the bib file will look like. So you can see it actually. And again, this is one of the best practices to put the references file, the bib file under the references for you created actually, just for your own convenience and own maintainability of the source code files. So that is the best thing actually. So just open it actually if you want to open it, then you can see how many entries it's having. So currently I've put 2 entries here actually, you can see it again. So as many entries you can put it. If you want to see some realistic reference file which I have created for my thesis, then I can show that as well. So if you can see it. So this is how your a bib file will look like. So this is some huge entries, right? Getting it? So you can refer it with simply this one. So I have given us a name ME03. I think it's not visible. Let me just Apologies, I'm not able to kind of increase the font size. Let me see if I can. Okay. So, but let me put this entry in the text editor so that you can see it actually. So maybe I think it will be quite easy for you. Now I think it's visible, right? So this is one of the entry which I want to show you. So probably what we have to do is actually we have to take this one. Say for example, this is a tag which I mentioned at DS08 and simply put this statement, this text, or you can say where you want to kind of refer this particular citation or your to a journal actually, right? Right. Okay. Let's quickly move on. Okay, fine. And the other thing is now I described this function, the bibliography with the reference. This is a folder name and this is a file name which has been referenced here. And then the bibliography style. This is cool. This is a very cool feature. So probably say, for example, if you want to kind of display in a IEEE format or some other format, just change the bibliography style. You have the database file with you. You don't have to worry about it. If, for example, if you are, if you want to publish your search paper to a journal, particular journal, and later on, if you came to know that, okay, they have kind of rejected it and you need to submit to some other publisher, what you do is, and they are having a different format or style for the references, then take their style file, below style file, put it here, build the file, it works for you. That's it. It will automatically change all references, whatever you have, the way you have kind of set the style for that bibliography file. It works for you, right? So it's so simple. I don't know whether the same thing can be achieved in the case of a Microsoft Word, but this is
Sir?
quite yeah.
Sir, everything is good as per now discussion, but only this topic looking quite complex. Because if we have 1,000 of suppose research papers, that means we need to make 1,000 entries. So is it possible to use Mendeley with the LaTeX as well to make it easier?
Right, you can use it actually. Even I told you, right, you can use the BibTeX generator that can generate the syntax for you. So you can do that actually. So there are a lot of free tools available which can do the work for you. So they can generate the BibTeX file, right? So you can just search on the net and find the best which suits you, and then you can probably do the work with that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. Okay. Let's move on now. Okay. Fine. Now, auto-generate footnotes in text using bib LaTeX. This is quite interesting. Sometimes what happens is we want to kind of include the information, bibliographic information within the kind of a footnote of a particular page, right? So that is quite achievable in case of a text. So you can use the bib LaTeX package, and then you can use the auto cite and print bibliography command to do the same work for you. So, but in this case, there is a catch. As we have seen previously, the slash bibliography we have included in the begin document and before the end of document, in the content itself, rather I would say. But in case you want to kind of auto-generate the footnote, this bibliography and the path, the file name need to mention in the preamble of the document rather than in the document itself, right? So this is a difference to this one. So if you actually look at the code, so this is how we can leverage this package. And the bib LaTeX one, I told you, with some of the option which we need to set it. And then bibliography we have included the references. And then we are having a kind of a begin document where we are kind of auto cite this particular one. Let's see actually if it works. So this is the output which it will get generated. So let's see if we have an example for this one and we are able to kind of compile this code. Let me figure out if I have one BibTeX. Okay, I think I have that code snippet there. That's what I was talking about. Let's try to build this one. Okay, fine, absolutely. What it does is, if you look at it, after random citations, we have used auto cite. This is how it has kind of now pointing to a kind of a footnotes. You can see a citation was embedded in text itself. So this is the citation. So John 1, the book title, dummy publisher, this on page 1. This is basically option for the page number, where sometimes you know the page number, you can mention the page number itself here. So this is how it will kind of generate this footnote for the document. And this is what the print bibliography will do. It will generate this one footnote, and then the bibliography now has been moved to this one actually. So if you want to explore it, probably I think we will have another, I'm not sure whether we have, let's try out if we reference file, if we, what are the options which we have, if it works. Dummy tool, let's see. Dummy tool, if we put it, what will happen? Okay, fine. Right. Right. So it has now kind of used a second one actually. So if you look at this one, it has changed the value for this one. Previous by John, now it has been replaced by Ramesh. What we have mentioned it here actually. So if you look at the author is Ramesh actually. So that's how it works. It's as simple as, I know actually it's a kind of a initially it looks difficult to kind of digest all these things. That is why I was telling you we need to keep on practicing, and in a kind of a small chunks rather than kind of looking at all the features and then try to experiment with it again. So it depends upon your requirement, but definitely at some point there should be a start. We cannot kind of run away from these things, but it's a one-time learning which we have to, everyone has to go through it again. So, but once you are kind of comfortable with syntaxing, with understanding these packages, with understanding the environments, then your life is much easier, right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, we are done with this footnote generation as well. Okay, we have seen this one, how this package works. Perfect. Okay. Okay, now what are the different formats? We talk about the BibTeX file. Now let's quickly have an overview of what different format it offers and what we can use kind of while creating a .bib bibliography file. So the first one, the most commonly used, the article one. You can say you can have an article one, and then you can have a tag, author, title, journal, year, issue, volume, everything you can put it actually. So it covers most of the things. Then if you're referring to a book, you can put the book author's name, title, publisher, year. In book is also features there. Then probably the website one, if you're kind of referring to some page on the website, then probably you can provide the URL, the author, title of that website, month in which it has been kind of released, year, note, everything. You want to kind of put the website format actually. Okay, I think we are far behind time. Okay, we are still so much to cover. Okay, now, right, these are tag tables. This is the most important. In every like as I said, actually in every thesis which we write, we have the figures and the tables. Obviously, if you're writing some scientific data, you cannot get rid of tables. And it's a massive libraries are available in case of a tag. And you will be astonished to see actually how it works actually. So probably we will take just quickly the examples actually to make you understand how it works. So I will just take an example to make you understand how the table works. Okay. Simple tables, example table, fine, fine. In a most kind of a basic format, you can see the table syntax defined like this. Okay. No, the first thing is you have to define a table environment, right? And then the other is the tabular environment, which we have to use it for any table data which we want to show on the screen. So difference between these two is the first one is more concerned with the captioning, the label and the positioning of the table. The second one, the tabular one environment, which actually renders or the contents, which contains the contents for that table. So it basically contains the contents, right? So how does it work? Okay, so I think T, P, everything works. Whatever we are having in the case of figure, same thing works for the table as well. So you don't have to kind of think too much on this one. The way you kind of position your figures, the same way you can use position your table as well. So I think that's clear. Caption again, it's similar to what we have used seen for the figures and label. Obviously, as we are kind of referring to a figure, similarly we have to lot of places we have to refer to a table. You can give a name where you can refer it, so you can see it clearly. We are referring tilde slash reference. That's what we have provided the label name. That's what it will kind of refer to a particular for this table document table. Okay, now let's look at each and everything inside this tabular. This is important. This is the crux. Okay, so what we are here mentioning is, so as you can see, there is a bifurcation based on the vertical line, right? So it specifies how many columns we are using it. So as you can see, it actually we are having 3 entries. One is L, C, and R. We'll describe what those things are later on. These mean this is a table with a 3 column, right? 3 column table, and L stand for whether it's kind of a left line, center, right line. So the first column I'm specifying is left line, second one is center line, and third one is right, tells that it is rightly aligned. Is it clear? So it's a table with the 3 columns. Perfect. Okay, now how to kind of put the content for the header as well as to the kind of rows. So as you can see it actually, so there is no clear-cut bifurcation. What the header columns is, you have to kind of tell or kind of understand the tag so that it's a kind of a it's a header or it's a kind of a content for the table. So as you can see it, okay, we are just kind of making it bold actually. So text BF is nothing but trying to make this value bold. And every entry in case of a kind of a tabular, and for the cells we have to separate by ampersand. So this is one entry. Whatever value it will have, it will be in the first cell, and then second cell will have this value, and this is so on. Just make sure if you are having, say, for example, now 2 ampersand and 3 entries, that means it's having 3 values. That should match what you have kind of mentioned it here. For example, we have mentioned 3 columns here. That means we should only have 3 entries. If you keep on putting ampersand and ampersand after that, it won't compile, it will give you error. It will tell you, okay, you are saying that initially there are 3 columns, but you're putting the entry for 5 or 6 columns. It's wrong actually, right? And this character double slash is a new line character. So what it's telling, it's for a kind of a row separator. It works as a row separator. That means after that the next row will start. So this alpha, beta, gamma will be displayed on next line, and then again a new line character. Then this is a horizontal line which will be kind of under this alpha, beta, gamma. So you will have a horizontal line and then the 3 entries. So if you want to see actually how it outputs is this one. So this is one. So we have used the caption, your first table, that is what you can see, table 1 and value 1. So value 1, it's in bold, and under that we are having, say, alpha. You can see this one alpha, right? So this is what we are seeing it here. And then we are having entry 1, 2, 3 and horizontal line, which you have kind of put under the alpha, beta, gamma. After second row, it will kind of put that line. So whatever you tell him, it will do that actually. It's not kind of on its own. It's not going to put the horizontal lines, kind of other bifurcation, whatever is required actually. So you need to tell the compiler, right? Is it fine? So this is in a very basic form actually. I know it looks a bit difficult at the moment because you're not familiar with the code. But later on, probably once we cover this tables, then we will see how we can generate it very easily using some of the online functionality available on some other sites. We'll see that actually. Okay, let's quickly move on. Okay, I think we are done with this. Okay, now this is what we have seen it so far. Okay, now just a brief on that one actually. So we have seen the output where if you look at this one actually, so it's not properly aligned. We are having, say, after 2 decimal places also we are having values, and even the numbers are, because we have used the C as kind of a alignment for the center one. It's not properly alignment. If you want to do some alignment, we can use the package which is SI unit exactly. So in this one you can set the precision, say for example 2, and you can use that one in your kind of a tabular. When you're defining it, you can set the column type as capital S and then probably you can see the output. It will be properly aligned after 2 decimal places, and it's properly aligned. So you can use your own custom alignments as well. This one. Okay. Very good. Okay, this is quite interesting. So sometimes it's so powerful as well. So sometimes what we have to kind of span to multiple rows, multiple columns, and sometimes a combination of multiple rows and multiple columns you sometimes want in your kind of a table. So for example, for 2 columns, I want to just have a one value for 2 columns, and similarly for 2 different rows for particular column, I can just have only one value. How we can do it? Is it possible? Yes, it's very much possible. If I talk about it, I will say just use the use package multi-row. That's what you have. This is the kind of a package which you need to import it actually, and then uh, we'll see actually how we can kind of do the work for the multi-row and the multi-column one. Okay, let's now simply talk about the first option, which is the multi-row actually. So multi-row, what we want to achieve is, if you look at it actually, so this is what we want to achieve with the multi-row. So for these 2 columns, we were talking about the for these rows, first and second, we just want to have one value. This is our intention to achieve it, right? So how we can do it in case of a multi-row functionality? Okay, so okay, let me just open this one. So if you look at it, actually everything remains the same actually. So the table, the kind of the tabular form, and till the horizontal line, everything is same actually. So what we have covered so far. Now here is the difference. If you look at it clearly, what multi-row is doing it here. So what it's tell. So how multi-row command works. So if you look at the first and foremost option here is number of rows. So how many rows we want to kind of now put under the multi-row at least. For example, if we are interested in the first 2 rows, then we can put the first one, and then we specify the weight, the content. And sometimes if you kind of you want the tech to determine the width automatically, use asterisk actually. We don't have to worry about it actually. So this is what we have to do it actually. Now in the multi-row, we have mentioned that 2 rows need to be kind of clubbed or merged together with a value of 12. This is the content for that particular multi-row content, and we have mentioned asterisk as a kind of automatically generate the width of that particular multi-row. So now, interestingly, now what it will do is, we have mentioned in the first row itself. Now, if you move to the second row, just make sure before the ampersand, because the first column which we have for the first column which we have done the multi-row should not have any value, because this is what we have kind of done it here actually. So we have kept it blank. Then for the second row, we have the values for the other columns. So 10.1 and B, but not for the first column. Just make sure content of first column omitted. It should be clear. And then the third and the fourth row should follow as it is. So it's pretty simple. It's the only thing, multi-row, where we want to use it actually. You can mention the number of rows which need to be kind of merged, and then we provide the content for it. That's how it works. Which will get output when you kind of compile that particular piece of code. So you can see it actually 12. Now 10.1 and B, we have seen it actually. For this row, we didn't have the value, right? We didn't mention the value because we want the 2 rows to be merged with the value of 12. Any questions so far? I think it's clear. It's getting a bit harder. I understand actually, but apologies, I can't help because it's important actually. I just want to cover because I know a lot of people encountered things like that in their thesis and their manuscripts actually. So this was
So
important.
it's going all good. It's going all good.
Okay, thanks, Anand. Thanks, Anand. Okay, now let's come to the multi-column functionality. Okay, so now it's the other way around actually. So what we have seen it actually, we have kind of merged the span the rows. Now it's on the column side actually. So if you want to merge 2 columns and have a one value for it actually, how can you do? Again, similar to what we have in case of a multi-row one, where in this one we have to use the command the multi-column, and then we need to mention the number of columns, the first one, and the alignment of the values inside that columns, and then the content for that columns which need to be merged. All right. So as you can look in the code, everything is fine till here, horizontal line. Everything, whatever is there in the basic table functionality, it's pretty much the same thing actually. We are not changing anything here. Okay. Now let's look at this one, the multi-column functionality. Again, we have mentioned the number of columns here 2, and then see that means it's central line with the content of 12. That's what we are doing, combining two cells with a kind of a value 12. That's what we are doing. So after that, what will happen is we are first putting okay to 10.1. Okay, sorry. I just forgot to mention here. Now we are kind of merging two columns here. So now look at it actually. The first row, we have put this multi-column. We just have one entry after the ampersand 1A, right? Why? Because we have already merged the first two columns, right? And there will be only two entries for the first row. This is what we have kind of achieved here. If you look at very clearly, let me reiterate the same thing. For the first row, we are having the multi-column functionality where we have put the number of columns to be merged and then center line with the content well. And after that, two columns data gone, we are just left with the third one and we have put the entry for that third column, which is A. For all the other rows, if you look at it, actually you will have the value for each and every cell. For example, 2, 10.1b, and then 3, 23.4 and so on actually. So this will be the result. So for the row 1, so you will get an entry 12, which is central line, and the second value is A, which is for the column value 3. And apart from this one, everything is same what we have seen in the basic table. Is it clear? Maybe I know you can keep on practicing, then you will kind of having a hold on it. Okay. Now, a more kind of a difficult scenario and a rare one as well. So I would say, but definitely let me just cover it actually. Combining multi-row and multi-column within a single table. Now this is interesting. So simply we can use exploit the multi-row and multi-column what we have seen for individual tables. We can exploit that one, and and the art is how to get that inserted, how to put this one in the table, tabular environment to get it working. So okay, so first thing is interesting is the multi-column one. Again, we have mentioned the number of columns to center line, and then the content for the multi-column. Look at this one, the third one. Look at this one, the multi-column third one. We have put the content as multi-row, then 2 st 1 2 3 4. So it will be a kind of a 2 by 2 matrix actually. It has taken it actually. I think it's is it clear or you have some doubts? So how it's going to be, and look at this one. This is what it has taken. It has taken first row, first column, right? First row, then first rows, column 1, column 2, second rows, column 1 and column 2, and it has put the content 1 2 3 4 for this complete 4 cells. And then for value 3 column we are having AB, and then everything is fine for 3 and 4. This is same. This is how this multi-column, multi-row functionality works. Probably you can have a look at those code and try it yourself, and then you will have a more deeper understanding on the functionality, how the tech renders and kind of take those input and kind of make a document out of it actually. So I know it's a bit difficult initially, but slowly as you kind of keep on working with the multi-column and single multi-row functionality, you will have a more better understanding on this one. Okay, let's move. Okay, sometimes people complain about the tables which are being generated through tech are not pretty. That doesn't look good actually. I want to have some kind of fancy
Sir, you are not audible to me.
Sorry.
So you are not audible to me.
Okay. Now I'm audible. Is it better?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So
Okay.
kind of you.
Fine. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. So I was talking about when the things come to a kind of from the UI perspective, people want to see some fancy tables. Okay. Some kind of which look good. So they go for the kind of a package which is called book tabs. So it basically it's for making the tables, but that looks better as compared to the previous what we have seen so far with the horizontal lines. So it has having special lines, kind of a rule. You can use it actually to make it prettier. Okay, we'll see that one again. So just look at this example. It's having begin center, okay, table using bookmark. Okay. One thing, okay, so you have to use import the package book tabs to your document before you can kind of use that table. Okay. Okay, now if you look at the example, so you are having the kind of a caption, the label, so you are having a begin tabular, right? So after that, if you look at in the previous example, we have used the H line, the horizontal lines, but we are now using a different command here, which is a top rule. So that is part of this package, the book test package. So it looks prettier. If you look at the output it's generate, you will see, you will appreciate basically why we are kind of going with the bootstrap package and try to make it aesthetically more better actually, comparing with the previous one. Okay, now so you can have a top rule, you have a mid rule, you can have a bottom rule, different types of rules. You can just embed it in the same code. Then you can get the output like this. So now you must appreciate actually. So if you compare it with the previous one, you can see that the difference one actually. So the top rule actually, it's a bit of a kind of a having a much better width of the line as compared to the original horizontal line. So this is how it looks like. And similarly, the bottom one and the middle one different actually. So this is how the table will look like with a kind of a bootstrap. Otherwise, the basic functionality will remain the same. You don't have to worry it actually. Again, you have to, for every row, you have to kind of separate the cell values with an ampersand and all these things. And at the end, you have a new line character to kind of to tell the tech that row data is complete and move on to the next row and so on. Okay, multi-page tables. Fine, perfect. Okay, now what does it do actually? Sometimes, actually, in our scientific world, we have a data which is spread across different pages. For example, say if you want to kind of display data having say 400 rows, 500 rows, or 1000 rows, how you can display those kind of data in the tech world. So what you can do is you can use the long table package. So instead of what it will do is it will allow you to kind of put your data on different pages with each page having the header, but the caption will be displayed at only one place. So you can split the data among different pages on the text side actually. So you can use this package long table one. Probably we'll have a look at this one if we get the time. Okay, so now the important thing, we have looked at the other things, the multi-row packages. We have talked about the bootstrap packages, which intentionally doesn't change the structure of the table and the table environment. But with the long table, it has completely removed both these the table and the tabular environment. So it's a kind of a single environment which provides you the ability to caption, to rule, to put the contents or table using a single environment called the long table. As you can see it actually, we begin with the long table environment. Again, we kind of specify the columns, and then but in this case we do not have to work with the begin table or the begin kind of a tabular environments. Okay, then we can mention the caption, label, top rule. We have seen what we have for the bootstrap, and then we are having the kind of a header for this table. Now this is pretty interesting. There is a command called end first head and end head commands. So whatever kind of a you are mentioning here in this under this tag and first head and head, so that is going to repeat it on different pages. So that is a crux. That is the difference here. That is what it will be kind of a repeated on every page, depending upon how many pages will be generated for the complete data set. Right. Apart from this one, it's the same thing actually. Data is same. Okay, let's take a break and take an example and how we can kind of how it will look like in a document actually. If we can just have a look. Okay, long table. Okay, I got it again. So right, as I said actually, so whatever you're going to mention it inside this one, it will get repeated actually. And first and end rule actually the header actually issue. Let's build this one. Okay, fantastic. This is the output which we get it actually. So you can see it actually. So I can put the dummy entries here to just to illustrate the concept here. So value 1 alpha. Okay, I'm going to repeating this 1, 2 and all things. So this is a first page actually. So page is over. You are seeing the caption on the first page itself. Now, if you look at the subsequent pages, you are getting the header and the values and the remaining rows. So this is how it will work, the multi-page one. So as you can see it actually, I have generated for 7 pages. This is a code which we have used it actually. So it doesn't matter actually how many rows you want to display. Don't worry about it actually. Long table will make your life easy. So simply use this one and probably just use the mid rule, bottom rule, or the top rule, which is provided by Bootstrap package to kind of making it more prettier actually. So it combines both the features actually, and it works well. Is it clear? Okay, let's move on now. So let's see what is left. Okay, landscape tables. This is interesting. Sometimes what happens is actually in a scientific world again, so we are having more number of columns. So we are kind of, we don't know actually how to display it in a kind of a single page actually, how it will look like, and the column should not be screwed up and all these things. So probably we can rotate the table itself. This is quite fascinating. So you can use the package rotating, use package rotating to display table in landscape mode. Okay, so as we have seen in the last example, we have used collar long table, right? Environment. Now in this case, for generating table in the landscape mode, so we can use a sideways table. So this is what we have to use. This is environment. We look at this one, the sideways table. And again, the position you can provide wherever you want to position within the document. Then you can provide the captions, label, begin tabular. But the difference is in this one, we have to use the tabular one. Unlike the long table where the long table does the work of a kind of a table and the tabular environment. But no, it's like an ordinary one, like the Bootstrap, what we have seen it. So you have to kind of, instead of the table, you have to use sideways table. That's it actually, that's it. Everything remains same. Just make sure that this one, the begin sideways table and the end one. Where is that one? Okay, the end one. And tag and environment tag sideways table. That's it. Only these two things you have to do it actually. Change it, and you are good to see the data in the landscape mode. So how this will look like actually. If you want to see it actually, I can help you with that as well. Let me open. Sorry, same example. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So you are using the. Can I request everyone to be on mute, please? Okay, so you can use this package Bootstrap to kind of use the top level, the mid rule, the bottom rule, directives, and for the rotating package for this one, the sideways table. That's what you have to use it. Just compile it, and you can see that one. This is the output which it has generated. So value 1, everything, the same table, what you have seen, the other way around, actually now it has been rotated at 90 degree. So that's in the landscape mode. So if you want to exploit it, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Now, the interesting part is, okay, we know that we can work with large data, right? Actually, we have seen the long table, we have seen the multi-row table. The thing is how you're going to put the data, right? So data is a problem because we have seen it actually data for every row we have to kind of separate by an ampersand, and then after each row we have to kind of put the new line character so that the compiler comes to know that it's another row and so on actually, right? So it's very difficult to do that work. So instead of that, what we can generally we used to have a data in a CSV file, right? Actually, separated by a comma or by a space, whatever actually. So I want to kind of give you a flavor that with tag you can directly import the data from the CSV files and kind of make your tag table without worrying about the internal functionality, how to kind of create the number of columns and all these things and put the data individually. So this is what actually. So this example, if you look at it, so it's having a begin file content. This is basically the environment file content is used to kind of create the files here. So I have kind of created the scientist.csv file and I've given data here actually. And between the begin and the end file content, you can mention the data and separate it by a say a comma actually. So but for doing this, you have to exploit the package which is called pgf plot table, plots table. So you have to import this table. So this is how it's going to look like. Use package this one. Then you are having you have to set the some arguments for the pgf plot table type set. For example, a column separator, which we have seen it actually previously it was a comma. So you have to mention comma here. Then for the string type for individual column, you need to set the styles. So whether it's a left line, center line, and where and if you look at this code, every head row dot style. So it will tell like when it encounters a head row. Okay, so before that, whether I need to put an horizontal line, you have to mention it. If you mention, then only to do it. I told you earlier as well, right? Otherwise, it won't do it actually. So you mention after row, head row, you have a horizontal line, and every last row, you will have a horizontal line. That's all. And we have kind of put in a key, put that in a scientist.csv file. So it will kind of create a scientist CSV file and put the content in it. So this is how it's going to be kind of generate the file from it. So if you look at this is what we have seen it, the name, surname, age is the column headers, and then this is the data which we are kind of which we're having it, and it's getting displayed. So you can look at it. There is a header row, and before that we are having horizontal line. After we are having horizontal line, and after we are kind of done with the rows, you can see this one actually, the horizontal line after the last row. So this is how you can kind of generate your LaTeX table through a CSV file as well. Even you can go ahead and kind of create a separate CSV file, not on the kind of a text document, but if you are having your own in your system, then probably you can point to that particular folder and then particular file, and then you can import the data from the CSV into your text document. Fine. Okay. Okay, fine. Now let's look at, if we are done with the tables, on the last thing which I want to cover for this session is probably on the plot side, which I do not encourage people to do it because it requires some skills. Moreover, you have to have an understanding of some of the deeper packages which are used for drawing those packages. But still, I want to give you a flavor how we can kind of exploit the packages, the various command directories in which is provided in tag to kind of come up with those plots, and which can help you kind of building those in this tag. But this is not my recommendation, because if you're comfortable making those charts with the Excel or some other tool, it's better actually. But it just to kind of show you how the things can be kind of built in tech as well, because it's an overkill for me if I understand correctly, because then again you have to understand the syntax and all these things, which is not required, right? But obviously it has some impact in terms of the way it's kind of embedded in the document itself. It's having a kind of a it's from a beautification perspective, it has an impact. But if you having an image which is much better, and you're having plots which are really very impressive and doesn't have a kind of a degradation in terms of resolution, all this thing, then it's fine. You can still work with your own tools and all for doing this. Okay. Now let's understand this through an example. Actually, this is more of a code. Actually, Let me make you understand. Okay. Let me.
Sir,
Yeah, please, ma'am.
can we pause here for lunch? We can
Ma'am,
take the quiz the students till this session,
okay,
and
ma'am.
we will continue after lunch break,
Ma'am, just left with this
1:30.
slides. Ma'am, I'm just left with these 2 slides. Probably we can just complete this one. Then later on, we can the next session we can completely focus on the kind of templates actually, which we can use for conference and all these things actually. I just
Okay, fine, sir.
if
Fine.
that's fine with you, I won't take more than 5 minutes of time, and that's it actually. Is it fine, ma'am? Okay. Okay. Now let's quickly look at this example. Okay, simple and line plot actually. So this is what the first thing to build your line plots, we have to kind of import the packages, namely PGF plots, PGF plot table. Then we have to kind of PGF plot set, we have to use it. Then we have to kind of use the TIKZ package. We have to export it actually. So that this is a simple example where we are trying to kind of showing a line chart actually. We are kind of setting the dimension for the grid under which we want to kind of show 3 lines with the coordinates which we have provided. If you look at the first one, for doing that, we have to use for any images drawing picture, we have to use this TIKZ picture environment. Under that, we are having a kind of a begin axis environment in which we can kind of define the X labels, the Y labels, and the width, the height, and legend type, and all these things, where it will be kind of anchored on the west, east, or where in which side actually. So this is what we have kind of defined on the axis with the different options, right? So this is the X label, this is a Y label which we are having it. Now to add an individual line uh, within the graph, we can use the add plot directly. We can mention the color, the mark, the type mark, which will be kind of put for each coordinate, which will be displayed on the graph, then the coordinates for that particular one. So as you can see it, I have taken 6 coordinates. So this is one line, and this is similarly you can keep on adding another line actually. So I've just added 3 lines, and if you want to see it actually, just run it. So this is what you will get it actually. So this is legend. We have defined it here. So we have clearly mentioned what's the legend names, case 1, case 2, case 3. That is what it displayed, and where it has taken the position from this one. It has taken position on this one. If you change it to east, you can see it will move to the towards the east. So this is what happened, right? So you can work, so you can experiment with this one, different features. Okay, now, okay, so the first one actually, so the red color one, this is a line which has been plotted. So red, this is line 6. We can have seen these are the coordinate, and similarly we are having another line for the green one, the blue one. So this is and the coordinates actually it automatically from the coordinates which we have provided, it has automatically figure out actually to what extent it has to kind of show for the y-axis scale and the x-axis one actually. So depending upon the value, it automatically does the work. But it's a bit of work actually. If you ask me to do this in tech, it's an overkill for me. Okay, and the last one probably I think I have that here. Okay. Okay, so this is done. Okay, I've already mentioned this one actually. So what is this XY pair coordinates, the legend and the figure environment? Okay, the last one is sometimes we do not want to kind of display as a picture, but rather than as a figure, we want to kind of embed in the PDF document. So as a figure, if you want to embed something, just enclose the drawing one with the begin figure and the end figure one. It's as simple as this one. For example, now we are having this and TIKZ picture environment, which we have seen it for drawing the plots. So what you can do is if you want to kind of put that particular drawing inside a figure and you want to kind of refer like a figure and all this, just enclose with the begin figure and this one. So if you look at this one, I've labeled this my label and then given a caption to the for this diagram. And if I build it actually, so this is what I'm going to get it actually. This is a legend which we have mentioned here. Legend, this is a legend. So sin x and cos x, you can see it actually place outer north. We have set the position outer north side. That is how it gets positioned here. And then we have having two lines for add plot. One is for the sin x function, the cos x function. So pretty simple actually, which is value there. So this is what is the power of tech. It can do it. It can do beyond that actually. But I think just to give you a flavor on the drawing side actually, so I think that is sufficient because most of people work with the kind of mathematical equations and line charts. So that's it. Madam, I'm done. Thanks, ma'am. Any questions on this one actually? On anything so far we have covered it.
So
Anybody
session
else?
was very beautiful, sir. Very nice things sir. We learned, sir.
Okay. But my only advice is to do practice actually. Otherwise,
So actually, one thing is it is not possible to become expertise in 1 day or 7 day because we are from many years we are just working with the Microsoft Doc or mainly Excel softwares, and we need enough time, means at least a 1 month or 1.5 month to learn basics of this software, and many things we got, sir, in basic point of view from your side today, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
all right, thanks. No, my only piece of work I do appreciate actually. So it has a kind of a learning curve actually. But to be honest, we cannot get rid of it actually. Somehow we have to keep on trying. The only thing is, but just keep this thing in your mind that one day I want to kind of write at least one my kind of a manuscript in the tech world. Then you will be kind of you will be able to achieve that one. Otherwise, sometimes what happens is actually after looking at so much of code, we tend to get demotivated rather than motivated. But don't don't get demotivated at all. I'm telling you. So once you start doing it, you will start loving it. That's how you will build your confidence. Once your confidence is built, then you can do anything. I know that actually. So I'm sure actually you are all kind of a learned persons, even more than me. I'm nothing in front of you guys. I know that actually you can do that. Yeah,
I'm
thanks.
very thankful to Richa ma'am and the HOD of the department who organized this event. Thank you, Richa ma'am. It's very informative session.
Thank you, Arvind sir. Actually, this is not the end of the workshop. In the afternoon, we are having another session with hand-on practice. And after that, we will take your feedback, sir. Thank you for the appreciation. We want you will continue the afternoon session also. In that, sir will give us the hand-on practice. And if any other participant is having any type of query related to this workshop, he can unmute and ask the question. And after that, we are having a 1 hour lunch break, and we will gather again at 1:30 sharp. And we are having the 2 hour session. After that, we will compile the workshop. Any question from the participant side? Someone has asked in the chat box, can you provide the document, sir? Sir, this is a question for you.
Okay, which document you're referring to? Is the presentation one or the sample?
I think they are asking for the template, sir.
Okay, template, whatever I kind of showed in the text studio, right? Those
Sir,
templates.
kindly share the templates with us also, because our worthy Vice Chancellor also wants to see how we are doing using LaTeX in engineering.
Sure, ma'am, I'll do that actually. So I will share my presentation
share
and
the
whatever
PPT
template
also?
I have kind of made so far.
Yeah,
and
sir, we have created one WhatsApp group. I will add you in that group. If the participants are having any type of query related to LaTeX, they can directly ask you the questions in the chat box.
So
Sure,
can you
ma'am.
share the PPT also?
I will do
Yes,
that,
ma'am.
ma'am.
After the workshop, we will share the PPT as well as the recording of this whole session.
Thank you, ma'am. So kind of you. Thank you.
So there are two things. The PPT is also made in tech only. So do you want the source code as well as the kind of the PDF, or you just need the PDF one?
So I think PDF is comfortable for all of them.
Fine. I will share the PDF. No issues.
Yeah, but you teach us how to make the PPT in LaTeX also.
I will do that actually. So that is for the second session actually. So even I will tell
Yeah.
you what the benefit of doing that. So how I started, I told you in the beginning. So that's a secret actually, which I haven't disclosed so far. Probably I will be kind of disclosing in the next session why I choose a Beamer presentation and why most of my presentations are in Beamer itself, not in the Microsoft PowerPoint. I have kind of made some very beautiful presentation in Microsoft PowerPoint, but nowadays I'm not using it actually. For every tech work, I'm using a Beamer one. And I will show you the power and why we should be using the Beamer presentation and not the kind of a Microsoft one. We'll discuss that one. Sure, ma'am.
So kindly you stop your screen sharing, and I request the participants to switch on their cameras so that we can have a group photograph.
Okay, ma'am. Stop sharing. Okay. Right. Done, ma'am.
I request the participants kindly switch on your cameras so that we can have the group photograph. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Wait for another 2-3 minutes, kindly. And one request to all the participants, kindly fill the feedback form of session, morning session, as well as the afternoon session. That feedback form will be shared in the second session. So your certificates will be prepared on the basis of your feedback form.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can leave the meeting and we will rejoin at 1:30.
Sure, ma'am. Thanks. What the compiler is trying to do and what we are trying to do, there should not be any discrepancy in between what you're trying to do and what the compiler is trying to think, right? So, okay, just I'm going to give you one hint. So if you look at my file, which is untitled, it's not saved, right? Whereas I'm having a Beamer, simple Beamer presentation file, which is saved, and I can tell you where that file is. So if you look at it, that file is somewhere here, simple Beamer presentation, right? So what happened is, so till the file is not getting saved, it's having a different root, right? So it doesn't reside on where this simple Beamer presentation file resides. And because of that, it's a different file. It's not able to, under that root, it's not able to find that folder and then the file. So that is the reason we are getting error when we are trying to kind of compile this file, right? So to remove that one, either we have to kind of try to save this file in the same folder where we are having simple Beamer presentation. Okay, my first presentation. So now I'm trying to save this file. So look at this folder, on the same folder where I'm already having a file with a simple Beamer presentation name. So I've just given a different name, my first presentation text file. All right, now my file is saved. If you compile it, you should not get an error. This is all. Look at the output. Now you can get the desired output. What we asked for it. All right. Let's move on. Again, for sections, math, equations, in the same way. So pretty much let's copy and paste it. Let's copy and paste this one, right? So if you look at it, actually, now we are having a different section for math equation. We are having a frame. We have defined it in the equations, and then we have the frame is closed, right? So if you want to kind of include this one, just keep it side. Okay. First, let's see how it will kind of compile this one. Yeah. Okay. So we're there. We use the equation environment, and then we are able to kind of build this one, the equation. And if you want to, again, you don't want to go with the equation environment, and simply you want to kind of live with the dollars before an end of that particular mathematical statement, and you can do that as well. So it hardly has an impact. So you will have the same equation. That's fine actually. So similarly, you can keep on adding for other, for example, the theorems, you can use it actually. So they're inbuilt functions environment which are being provided. The theorem and the corollary, if you have something like that, okay, you can include in your Beamer presentation. Now let's move to the last one, which is very important and kind of create some problems, some issues. Okay. Okay. So now look at the content of this reference file. So again, I'm having a frame. I have kind of defined a section for the reference. Then what I did is I have kind of referring to two of the journals mentioned in the .bib file. So where is that bib file? So the bib file is here, the references file, the big one, right? I'm only using these two references. And then I've kind of set the style to IEEE trans, right? So just see what magic it does for you. Right? Fantastic. That is what we expect for it. So we use these different citations. Can you see it actually? So in the reference file, in the bib file, I'm having more than 100 references, but it has only taken the 3 which has been referred in the document itself, in the Beamer presentation. So as I told you in the morning, this was one of the striking point for me to work with the Beamer presentation, because when I started working with the tech, soon I realized I need to come with the presentation. And the worst part was I do not want to copy and paste the references from Word file from somewhere else and then kind of put it in the reference in the presentation, and then I don't know how to kind of link it in the PowerPoint presentation while my code was in the LaTeX world. So I got frustrated, and then I thought of kind of searching for some kind of a tool where I can prepare my presentations in Beamer. So at that moment, I came to know of this Beamer presentation, and I have kind of used to its full capability, where I can use the references, I can use the equations, I can use the list, I can use the frames. Okay, can I ask who is not kind of...
Sir, kindly mute your mic, sir. Dean Academic, sir, kindly mute your mic, please. Sir, you continue. मैं उन्हें phone करती हूँ.
Okay, thanks, ma'am. Okay, so that was the best thing actually. So if you can see it actually, now this whole Beamer presentation is kind of linked to a big file. So if you want to kind of include some more citations, as you can very clearly see it actually. So let's do one more example. So as you can see it actually, so based on the bib file, which we have kind of compiled it using the bib tech, Now it's listing all the references here. So it's as simple as this one. So what you can do is, so whenever you're kind of preparing a presentation for your tech document work, which you have done so far, just copy paste everything from your report to the Beamer presentation and you're done with it. Just you need to kind of focus on how to organize it and splitting in different frames, what content you really want in your presentation. That's it actually. You do not have to kind of, again, going back to the Microsoft PowerPoint to kind of prepare your presentation for the tech report which you have prepared. So everything pretty much you are doing same thing. You can kind of do it with the kind of a with the Beamer presentation. So let's put this one actually. So see what results it's going to get actually. So right now we are only having say 3 references here in the reference section. Now one more should be added to this one. So it's just compiling it. Fantastic. We are done. As you can see it. So we have just mentioned in the bib file and it's automatically extracting the information for that particular tag which we have used, this one AAA 110, which correspond to the last one. So every information, the author name, the volume, the page number, everything, it will extract from it and it will kind of apply the style which we are mentioning in the bibliography style directory. So that's pretty much easy. So now you can understand the power of this Beamer presentation, why we have chosen it, and probably how simple it can make your life if you're working with a tech document and you have to present your study, your analysis to the higher management or to the kind of some reviewers or to other areas actually. So it's pretty easy actually. So pretty much we can do everything what we can do with the tech document with the Beamer price. So simple, right? And on top of it, there are some kind of things which you can apply. I'm not going into that because even I don't have that time and it's kind of an over kill at the moment. It's because I just want to kind of want to motivate you to go with the Beamer presentation as well, apart from doing your kind of a tech documentation, right? So if you want interested, probably I can show you how I just prepared this kind of a presentation which I showed you in the morning. So just to give you an idea actually. So if you look at the code actually, so how many lines I have kind of written. So it's about 1400, approximately 1400 lines of code has been written, what PPT which we have seen in the morning. So the whole PPT was built with the kind of a Beamer presentation. So if you look at it, there are some style themes which are applied it. Probably I want you to kind of explore it and kind of make your own first Beamer presentation and then apply it on top of it actually. So you can get a use theme. Okay, the theme I've used, outer theme, inner theme, and everything. A lot of functionality is there. So which you can add to your PML actually set palette primary scan tree and all these things. So you can explore it actually. So everything pretty much you can do it on the kind of a text side, on the report side, you can do it in the Beamer presentation as well. Okay, that's it from me on the Beamer presentation. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just quickly move on to one of the IEEE conference templates and see how it works. Anybody? All right. Then let's quickly move on. I think we are already running short of time. Fine. So I just extracted this one of the IEEE template, which is there on one of the sites, and probably you can also download it actually. So I've not done nothing much on it. So you can just download this one and kind of extract. It's in a zip file. Then see what all file it says. So probably the first thing is it's having a kind of a text file, which you will be kind of changing it because you need to put your own content into the conference file. Okay, let's quickly open this one. Okay, great. So this file has been opened. So, and what other files we are having? Okay, fine. That's fine. Actually, then there are some kind of a conference. Okay, guide they have provided what to do, what not to do. Okay, so these are major things actually. So probably what you need to do is simply you have to kind of make changes to this document, not the style. Please make sure you are not going to change the style of this document. you're only going to add your own content of your own study to this document, so that you can compile the file and kind of generate the document and then kind of send the text file as a PDF file to the publisher for which you want your search to be published for peer review, whatever purpose exactly, right? So probably the first thing is, okay, you look at document class. It's based on IEEE trans. So this is a document which they have already prepared. It's a custom document actually. So you don't have to worry about it. So everything is there. Fine. Let it be there. We do not want to make any changes, style changes or the layout changes in document. Let's try to build it actually. See. Okay. So this is a layout actually. Okay. So it's the same one actually. So I have kind of saved with a different name. Okay. So this was the original kind of a template. Now we have compiled it. Okay, this is how you will get it actually. So once you first compile it, so what you need to do is you need to change the title. You need to kind of put your names and the author names and the organization name and the country name. And then probably you need to add the abstract to it actually. Then, okay, introduction part. You need to just work on everything is in place. You need to put the contents. Okay, ease of use. If you want to have this section, keep it. Otherwise, you can remove it or rename it actually. It's pretty simple. Okay, then you are having another section prepare. Okay, we'll see that actually how we can make the changes to the document, right? Okay, fine. For example, I'm not interested in having say 6 authors. I just want 3 authors. Then you know actually. So as you kind of look into the code, you will understand. Okay, this is a title. Okay, title. I need to put my title as search paper. Okay, say for example, search paper. You have changed the title of this paper. That's it. That's what is being asked from you. So you can just put your title here. Then okay, author. We know. Okay, there are 6 authors which has been displayed. We just need to look at this author directory, right? So just look at this author command 1. Okay, then we are having. Do we have another one? Okay, then we are having right. Okay, so author is 1 we are having, but if you look at inside it, we are having say different given names actually. Given name we are having 6 actually. So probably you can count on that. So this is a block which is used for the given name and all these things. So just remove the last 3 one actually. So it's better. Just do this one 5. Okay, I want to keep it 4, 6, 4. Okay, this just this one actually. So I think you will be good to kind of okay, so that's it actually. So how many authors you need? Just put it actually. So if you want 3, you can keep it 3. You see 1, 3. This is 2. This is 1. This is the first one. This is second one. Depending upon your paper actually and kind of a contribution of authors for the paper actually, you can put it actually. So that's what you have to do it actually. And probably you have to change the given name. Say for example, if I can put my okay, there's a third author, Deep Singh. Well, simply as it displays my name. That's it, third author. It's as simple as this one, right? It displays my name there as a third author. Similarly, you can change for the second given name actually. So you know where you have to make change. At least you should have some basic understanding. Looking at the syntax, you will find out. So this given name is correspond to the second author in the search paper. This is, and similarly, we can provide the city, country, email address. We can put it actually. So you can see this email address. All right. So we can put our email address here. Or if you have the Orchard ID, you can put that as well. Right. So this is how you have to work. Okay. And this again with the normal kind of a text document, we have a make title. So it will do the kind of create the title, not a title page, but whatever information it requires to be made on the title, it will do. So it will extract the author and author title and all this. Wherever you want to exploit, it can exploit that one. And then the next is begin abstract. So again, I have kind of used the lipsum here actually to kind of let you know how to create the abstract. Or your world, what you can do is put your content for the abstract here. Simply put your content here. right? Okay, let me build this one. Right? Simply, whatever you want, you can just put in the abstract. So I've just now put 4 paragraphs. So this is abstract which has been created. So we are not touching anything. So if you look at it, actually, so this is abstract actually. Now after lib sum 1,4 actually value which we have kind of put it. So right. So you just need to put the abstract here. Okay. Now so they have already defined a new environment which is IEEE keywords. You can put the keywords inside this one. Pretty simple. Similar section, whatever section you require, use this command or directly the section 1 for the for the section 1 actually section. And then if you have for within, for example, do another section, put the content for the first section introduction 1 here. Then for the second section, you can define your own name, and then inside that if you have some kind of a subsections, so you can just maintain the subsection here actually. So if you look at it actually, all the subsection which look like, okay, so they have defined, okay, it's in Roman. So section numbers will be defined in Roman. And then if you look at the subsection, it's having A, B, C, D. So like that. So that they have already kind of decided the layout. Everything has been decided by the publisher. You just need to kind of put your content. If you do not need a subsection, just remove it. Or if it has to be replaced with a section, then okay, section. Now see, this will get changed into, so just look at it. Second is the ease of use section, and now the third, this has become the section, because previous it was a subsection. We have kind of made it as a section, and now that's how it's going to look like. It's pretty simple. So just playing with some of the basic syntax which you have understood so far. That's it actually. Right? Okay, perfect, fine. Let's move on. Okay, so section we have done, subsection we understand. Okay, so okay, itemize. I've already kind of discussed this one. If you want to have kind of some bulleted item within your text document or within your research paper, you can put it actually. So then define the slash item. That's it. Put whatever, how many items you want to put it, and then it's going to work actually. It's pretty simple, which we have seen for a normal tech report, and we have seen in case of Beamer presentation as well. Right, okay. Similarly, okay, you can have for equations as well. Actually, you can define the equation environment and then put your equation in between and it will get displayed. So if you look at it actually, so it will display it somewhere. Okay, this is your equation. So if you want to change it or whatever, do it. Say for example, say fx is equal to x cap to, just build it again. This is what? Perfect, simple. I think you are right. So as you can see in the document, it's fx x scale. This is what we have done it. This is what we wanted. So probably when you start writing your search thing in a tech world, pretty much you can do it everywhere. So you don't have to kind of rely on the Microsoft world to kind of prepare your presentation or prepare your manuscript, everything pretty much. So I think all the good publishers, they have their own LaTeX template which you can exploit it and kind of put your content in it. All right, then subsection we have seen it actually. Perfect. Okay, let's quickly the subsection. Okay, it's the same thing. That's all actually. You have to keep on adding it to subsection, whatever is required. Then you can create your result section, conclusion section everywhere actually, right? Right. So tabular form. Okay. Again, table the same way which we have seen a normal text document. So it's the same thing. Table environment, the tabular, in the table you can mention the caption name and all these things. And the tabular you can have the actual content of that particular table. So what do you want to display in that table? You can do it again. So again, reference, you can use the same tilde. Then we have slash ref figure. We can provide whatever name we want to kind of give for the table, for the label, the table as well. We can use the same reference actually. So put table here, you can reference to the particular table. So it's pretty much same thing, right?
Sir.
Here it's referring to a figure, but you can refer to a table as well, right? Okay. Again, the figures in a very similar fashion, you can have the figures included in this one. Now, if you look at a figure, there is a catch here actually. So if you look at the document, it's a two-page document, right? So if my figure is it's a large one, it's not accommodated in a single column. How can I display that image across two different columns inside a document? Is there a way? Can somebody tell me how can I do that? Any guess? Okay. No issues. Let me just make it correctly. So you can use an asterisk here instead of a figure environment. You can use the figure asterisk environment to make it available for both the kind of a. So this is how it's going to look like. Fantastic. Now this is example. This has been kind of span over two different columns. So if you want to do it for a table as well, probably we'll try that table where it's work or not. Let's see.
Sir, how lipsum works?
Okay, great. On the table also we can see it. On table has been kind of now spread across two columns actually. So it depends actually. So if you want to use that one, you can do that, right? Perfect. Just one thing actually, I think I remember I asked this question in the morning as well. So as you can see it actually, I'm just kind of put the options, the positioning one for the table as well as for the figure with HTB, right? So all the option I put it actually. So what do you think actually? So how do the compiler understand how to position that table or figure in that one? Anyone, any guesses? Any wild guess?
It mean auto position.
It's not exactly auto position. Try something else. Okay, let me tell you. So we know that H is for here, P for top, B for bottom, P for the next page or the extra page. So it take the priority. So whatever you have mentioned in the first place will take the priority. For example, if I'm saying H here, so H will take the precedence. That means first we'll try to kind of put the figure or the content where we have defined the figure environment. If it doesn't work, then probably it will say, okay, it will move to the next one, top, bottom, and do the next pin, all these things. It's kind of an automatic one, but it has a kind of an order of precedence. So that's how it works. So just keep this in mind when kind of while you're kind of creating your content, your tech content, and try to compile your document, right? Okay, now last one. Let's quickly complete this document. Look at the section. In section also, if you notice, we are having a star here. Does it have any significance? I think it's easy to figure out. If you look at this one acknowledgement section, and if you look at other sections, so you can very easily figure out. Without no numbering, that's it. Perfect. So if you do not require numbering, probably just put star section, then star, and that's it actually. So it won't have a numbering. So acknowledgement reference, basically we do not put anything. So that's it actually. So you don't have to kind of make much changes for the, for example, if you do not require acknowledgement, okay, just remove it actually. Simply take it off from your document and build it. That's it. So at least you can see it actually, you are directly coming to references after your this section 4 one is getting completed. So what, which is that section? Okay, somewhere, okay, at all. Units one actually. So one unit section is over. So you're having reference. So that's what you have to, in idle what you have to do it actually. So you don't have to worry about actually. Okay, now this is a different one actually. So now let's come to the references actually. So this is how they have kind of built their bibliography. So this is a kind of a inline bibliography they have used it actually. So via bib item you can do that. So with the begin and end one you can define the bib items as we do for the itemize and for the enumerate one. So for the bibliography we can have a bib item, so it will kind of interpret it and kind of refer it actually. So again, similarly, we can define the kind of a tag for the particular item, and then we can mention the author name, Then we are having kind of a, see the title of the search paper and the publisher information, and then volume, everything, page number, okay, year of publish, everything. So you can define inside a web item actually. So if you want to add it actually, so probably say, for example, I just added this one, but if you want, I can add a new one. So just copy this one, simple copy this one. So whatever, okay, let me put a dummy. Okay, dummy author. I just created. Just make sure keep one thing in mind. This tag name should be unique for all the web items. It should not have the same, for example, B8 here, B8 here. This is not going to work actually, right? So you should have a unique kind of a web item tag name. So I put in 9 actually. So whatever format you want to choose, you can choose that one. For example, if it's based on author name and then the year of publication, you want to combine it. You're happy to do that actually. It's up to you, or you want to put it actually, because this is not what it's getting displayed B1, sorry, B6, B5, B4. So you will get a number there actually. So that's it. If you've done, we have added one new one. Okay, let's try to build this one. Right? Okay, fine. So you can see this one, dummy author. At the right hand side, just look at this. This dummy author has been added here actually. Right? Fine. And if you want to reference this, say again. Let me refer. Okay, side. Then I can put. So you can see the number there. Simply choose, okay, B9. You have to choose it. Say B9. Just press F5. It will compile the code. And you can see F9. Just look at it. How easy it is to make your manuscript in tech as compared to Microsoft Word, where you have to make lot kind of a with the layout, then you have to put the content, then you have to see whether it's rightly aligned and everything is placed or not. Then you have to read things. Nothing sort of those things in this world actually. Only thing is like I'm telling you again and again, you have to make sure what you are putting it, whether it's up to rules guide which for creating those environments, and you're writing the right syntax for it. So if the syntax goes wrong, then probably you will end up in a kind of a position where you need to kind of figure out where exactly the error is. For example, if I just miss this one, what will happen now? Let's see. If I just miss this one, now it's kind of a green actually, which at least you can see it, something goes wrong, right? Actually, if you build it, actually, you will get some sort of error. So this is okay. Paragraph ended before address site text was complete. So if you look at this error, you won't understand what happened, what mistake I made it. It's very difficult to figure out sometimes from the error message what exactly the error is. But if you are able to kind of keep on working with it, you will come to know, okay, what are the common errors which I could have made it actually. So this is how it works actually. And then bib item, for example, in the bib item, if you put something else, right, it's bib temp. If you do it actually, so it will point it again. So it is highlighted undefined control sequence, because bib term is nothing. It's not a kind of a directory. You have to put bib term in. Not many things actually, and probably you need to take care of some special characters. So sometimes this is very important. Let me remind you actually. So if you are kind of a lot of places in the content we put ampersand. So make sure you are familiar with what are the special character used in tech, so that you should have kind of, you should know how to avoid, how to escape those special characters. Because if you put this one actually and try to build it, this is the content, right? This isn't the problem. But if you look at the error, it's saying misplaced alignment tab character ampersand. Why it's saying? Because a special character, it has to be treated in a very special way. So you have to put an escape character, right? So then you have to build it actually. This is how it's going to work. Now it will say, it will only display ampersand there somewhere where we have mentioned it actually. So it won't throw any error. So that's how you have to kind of get familiar with the environment and get familiar with some of the common errors. which can come across while preparing your manuscripts, right? So that's it actually. Okay. So I think the bibliography is okay. That's it. That's the end of document actually. So that's all you need to kind of. And the last one, the warning template regarding the kind of a IEEE conference template content guidance. This you just keep it as it is. So you don't have to kind of remove it. If they want, they've asked you, then to remove it. Otherwise, it's the guidance. Just keep it here actually. So that's what is there. So they have used some vertical space. So you can see some space here actually after references. This is what you have used the vertical space slash directory with a 12 point and the color red you have done for the text and after that, that's the technique. So that's pretty much the IEEE template which I want to discuss with you and how you can leverage this one to build your own kind of a manuscripts and such papers and then kind of send it for the publisher. Right. Any questions on this one actually?
Bhavesh sir,
Yep.
kindly go to your presentation page number 41.
Presentation 4. Okay. The one which we had in the morning, right?
Yes, sir. In which we are discussing about table of contents.
Okay, 14. Okay. Okay.
Sir, previous one where the example is present, I think 41 and 42 page number maybe.
41, 42.
40. Yes, this one.
Okay.
Yes, sir. There many issues which any researcher or any thesis writer face. You resolve many issues with the help of your presentation and proper implementation work with the help of LaTeX. But sir, one thing which I still am doubtful in one thing, sir, in the table of content we are providing the page numbers. Like in another section we have page number 1 and 1. Is it possible to put this page number automatically, not manually, with the help of LaTeX?
So you
Suppose
want,
in my thesis, if I have 200 pages, okay, so is it possible to give the page number automatically in the table of content
so
so that
it's
I don't
automatic.
need to go through every single page, section by section, and figure out
No, no,
and
no,
to
no.
write these things?
Okay, so we are not writing this one. Okay, let me clear your doubt. So this is kind of created by the tech only. So I'm not putting 111 here actually. So I'm not doing anything. I'm just mentioning that section. That's it actually. So on whichever page it is, it will kind of put the page number here automatically. So I'm not mentioning anything here. So that's your doubt, right?
Okay, this page number is coming automatically.
Right. Okay, I will show you example. Just give me a minute. Okay. Let me take a simple example.
Because this will be very helpful. Otherwise, we need to go
No,
through
this
every
is
single
automatic.
page.
Everything is automatically in tech. You don't have to worry about anything. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Let me take an example. Okay, we are having a sample. Okay. So this is an example of a table, right? Actually, we have seen it. Okay. Let's build it actually. So this is here. Okay. So let me put one thing here. Okay. Say table of section. Okay. Section 1. Okay. So right. Okay. Let me first. Okay. Okay. Here page break. Fine. Now this is a table of contents page. Okay. In this, I have just section 1. So if you look at it, it's on page number 2 because why? This section has been moved to page number 2. So now if I include another kind of a section, say for example, this section, right. Section 3. Okay. And I just put some content here. Okay, fine. Okay. Now Let me put a page break here so that it should be on the next page. Right. So if you look at this now, section 2, section 3, this is on the next page, right? Actually, page number 3. If you look at it, actually, is it fine? So
Yes,
if you
sir.
go up, so this is what actually. So I haven't done anything. You don't have to play with it.
It's very good, sir, because as a thesis writer, we are facing this issue. If
That's
we
what
are
I meant.
making some change, or if we are adding any content in our thesis, we need to change all the page number in table of contents.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. So you don't have to worry about the layout. So document layout is already set. You just need to worry about your actual content, what you want to put in your thesis or your work. That's it, actually.
This
You
is
don't
very
have to
good
worry
thing,
where
sir.
the figures are going. Just you have to specify even more that even the template for your thesis will be provided by your university. They must have some kind of templates. They will provide a template with the .text file. You just need to keep on adding that sections, the chapters, and all these things. I will just walk through one of the theses as well. So to let you know how powerful that tech is. It's beyond that. It's beyond table of contents. You can have the list of figures. You have the list of list of tables, and after that, even you can have a list of algorithms, list of equations in that. Do you know how powerful the tech is? It can do everything for you. You don't have to worry about it. So I just wanted to, if we have some time, I can show you actually. I think let me just spend 5 minutes on this one to show one of the theses actually. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. On even I have the example as well for the algorithms as well. Sometimes, okay, you mention in your thesis these are different kind of algorithm which we have used it, and then you want to again kind of having an table of contents like a list of algorithm which I have kind of prepared it. So I want to okay. Let me just show you that sample as well. If I sample algorithm. So look at this one. So this is using as look at this code, list of algorithm. It work in a similar fashion for the list of figure, list of tables. So I'm not kind of giving any kind of a algorithm 1, 2, 3. So it depends on number of algorithm which you are using an algorithm. It will kind of automatically number it, say algorithm 1, algorithm 2, and then you have a list of algorithm page where you can actually see on which page that algorithm appears. So let me just build this one. So can you look at this output? List of algorithm. So it's saying the first algorithm teacher says, okay, whatever is on page number 2. The second algorithm is page number 4. If you go down, okay, this is on the second page, the first algorithm. And after that, I'm having some text. And third page, I do not have that algorithm. I have some text, dummy text. And on the fourth page, I have kind of the algorithm 2. So it will automatically detect and automatically it will kind of number it. If you look at it, actually, I'm not specifying anywhere. So I'm just labeling it and kind of using it. That's what I did. The way I did for tables and all these things. It's so powerful. Imagine if you're having, say, 10 to 15 algorithms in your thesis. You just need to kind of copy and paste the code here. Simple, and forget about it. How it will get added to list of tables, list of algorithms. You can specify at the beginning. It looks so beautiful, so organized your thesis. Then people will think it's a really work they have kind of done it actually. And with the algorithm, okay, similar to what we have for the tables, we are having a table environment and then a tableau. Similarly, with the algorithm, we are having algorithm one, which is on which we can have the captions and labels, and the other one is the algorithmic one, where actually we specify the steps which are required. So I will look at this one actually. So this is state. We have mentioned this one. Start from the begin from the one state. Even beyond that, you can have an if else on all these things, while statement inside an algorithm. It's so complex. I'm just giving you a tip of an iceberg. It's just a tip for the algorithm, this class, this environment. It's not everything. If you go deep dive into it, actually, you will come to know how powerful the tech is. But our bad luck is that we are not exploiting those features which are being given to us. We are still kind of going the easy one, the Microsoft. If you ask me, and then you will spend a lot of time kind of working with the layouts in the world against this one, the tech one. Tech is having only kind of a learning at the beginning, and after that, once we are through it actually, so it's a life easy for you. But you will kind of screw up your life if you kind of work with a kind of large thesis in the in the Microsoft Word. So it's very difficult to manage all these things. I'm not doing anything on for this one. Can I show you actually? So right, okay, this is algorithm, and even for the list of equations, similarly, maybe in your thesis you have written 500 equations. You can list down it with only one single syntax. That's it actually. Let me show you one of the thesis. So this is thesis which I wanted to kind of walk through it actually, maybe the high level one, right? If you look at this thesis, and even the output, if you kind of generate with this one, so beautiful. Okay, so let me okay, just look at this one. So this is a table of contents, and then we have list of table, list of figure, list of algorithm, list of equation, everything mentioned, right? And the beauty is, okay, so this is a list of tables, list of figures, list of algorithm. I can just simply click on any of this algorithm and it will take me to that. For example, this one 56 and the 76 is a click on this one. You're on that thesis page. It's so easy to kind of search for it. So just look at it. You're on page 77, algorithm 5.1. It is automatically the number 5.1. How it has kind of generated, it has taken the chapter into consideration. So if your chapter 5 start and it has an algorithm in it, then what will happen is it will mention the name as 5.1. It will number it as it is, and similarly 5.2. So based on the chapter, I'm not doing anything. I'm just writing a single piece of line, and the magic happens behind the scenes. I'm not doing some kind of fancy thing to kind of display that algorithm number 5.1. And if you later on, for example, if you add or remove one of the algorithm, it's fine. It will kind of regenerate the numbers for those algorithms, and it will automatically create the list of algorithms. You don't have to worry. You in the tech world, initially you have to worry about the text syntax, but later on you just have to worry about the contents. That's it. That's the beauty of it. Okay. And let me show you. Okay, for the equation also you can see it. List of algorithm, list of okay formula. It automatically. So look at the page numbers. If you look at it actually, so just click on it. Say 91. Okay, it has taken that equation. So this is what 5.4 equation where it has been referenced. It will take you to that point. Everything it will take care of it. You don't have to worry. So automatically equation 6.1. Click on this one. Your 6.1 is here actually. 6.3. Everything is kind of referenced properly inside a tech document. Everything. It's only the content at the end. But obviously, if you have to kind of create that layout, document layout, as I said, it will take some time. Don't try to do that. It will eat up a lot of your time. I know I've spent many hours kind of exploring those features and kind of building these templates and all these things. It's such a powerful thing. And okay, we are looking at this. This is probably I can just give you a kind of this text for that one. And the way you is it probably so for every chapter, for example, introduction, literature, survey, methodology, you can define a different file. Can you see my file? Okay. This is what I was talking about. So if you, this is the text file for the thesis which I have shown you, right? So if you look at how well it has been organized, so I have created a different separate text file for the introduction, literature survey, methodology, simulation results, all these things. You don't have to put in a single file. You can have different file depending on your logical segregation based on your chapter chapter thing, right? So this is how you can do it actually. So you are not kind of click on this. This is the file for literature survey. This one at the left hand side, right? And similarly, you can do it for other chapters as well. So this is a chapter which we have kind of made in the thesis. Is it fine, madam? Hope.
Hanji sir.
Am I audible? Ma'am, hope we are not running out of time.
Yes sir.
Okay.
So you can take
So,
5 minutes more. Actually, we are having the BPRS meeting at 3:30.
Okay. So I can.
Yeah.
I'm almost done with it actually. If there are open questions, just let me know.
Yeah, sir. We will take the open session. We will discuss the queries only now.
All right, ma'am.
Can you please tell us about lipsum, how it works?
Sorry, ma'am.
The abstract you have mentioned lipsum. Lipsum, sir.
Ma'am, your voice is too low. Can you speak bit loudly?
Sir, I'm saying lipsum. In the abstract, you have given lipsum.
So she is asking
Okay,
about
lipsum.
lipsum.
Okay, lipsum is nothing. It's a package actually, and you can use that directive to kind of include some dummy text in your kind of a text document. It will kind of extract some of the paragraphs. So it has, I'm not sure how many paragraph it has, say 30 or 40 paragraph it might have on some site. So it will get you the content. Sometimes what happen is actually we have to kind of write some dummy text. So instead of that, use a lipsum package and then specify the number of paragraphs which need to be kind of displayed. For example, you might have seen it actually. I have used /lipsum and then options 1 to 2. So 1 to 2 means that 2 extracted from the site and kind of put in the place where I have kind of used that. That's it. If you want to see that in action, I can do as that as well. Okay. So for example, okay, let me do it here. Okay. So this is how you can import package lipsum. Fine. So what you can do is you can simply use lipsum, then provide the paragraphs which need to be extracted here. Right? I think it's coming up. And then just build it. So this is what it will do. So it has extracted some dummy text. Can you see the output?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what the lipsum directory has done. So it has extracted two paragraphs. One, two. So it extracted. It has some dummy text. About 40 days want to put some dummy text. You can use this simple directory lipsum one, or 3, 4, whatever you do. Extract from it.
Okay.
It is as simple as this one. All right. You're welcome, ma'am.
Any other query
Any
from
other
the
questions?
participants side?
Sir, it has been a wonderful session. I would really appreciate if you can share
Kindly
some
speak a bit
templates.
louder.
So your session has been really wonderful. Can you please share some templates from where we can practice?
Okay, ma'am, what I will do is whatever samples I've created this workshop, probably I will share with all the templates with you. Then probably you can practice at your end.
Thank you, sir.
Andy, so there is one question from me, lipsum,
Welcome, ma'am.
you explained, Pavit. Could you tell me that this lipsum you are referring
Please go ahead.
here? Yeah, this is a command which you have mentioned here, lipsum 1 and 1-2. It means 2 paragraphs are taken. Now, from which document 2 paragraphs are taken?
Okay, so as I said, actually, it's a library actually where they have already predefined some paragraphs, which is
Yeah.
of a kind of a dummy text, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So 1-2 mean the first two paragraph. If you press third, just dummy
Okay.
text, it doesn't make any sense. It's just to kind of usually do is put some just like this one actually. So to quickly kind of put some text, right? Instead of doing that one, actually we can use this library function to put the contents there. It doesn't have significance beyond that, so it's a dummy text actually, just for demonstration purposes.
Okay. Any other query? Sir, kindly stop sharing and make me the presenter.
Sure, ma'am.
Jashan, sir, host.
Jashan, right? Okay.
Yes, Jashan. Thank you, sir.
Done, ma'am. All right.
Hello.
Sir, we are presenting you the appreciation certificate from the department. Kindly receive it from our side. This is the certificate for appreciation, sir, for you.
Okay. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you very much. I'm really honored.
Sir, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Sir, am I audible to you, Pavit, sir?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. Can you hear me?
I think he is disconnected.
Ma'am, can you hear me? I'm still there.
Sir, you are and ma'am,
Okay.
you are also audible.
So both of you are audible now.
So now I
Both are
request Dr. Manjeet Singh Bhamra, professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, to give the vote of thanks to the participant. Dr. Bhamra.
Hello. Yeah, I'm audible now, I feel. So
Yes,
here,
sir.
okay. So it was a wonderful session. So first of all, good evening, everybody here. So the LaTeX in itself is a very fascinating software because I have already tried it and I have worked on it, and in 2001 around that I have used it. So here the main thing is, which I have seen here, is that you need not to worry about the typesetting. So you are to only do writing, text, whatever, and the formatting is excellent in LaTeX. So LaTeX is itself is a very good software, and since long it is, you say, is interesting, and the people are taking more interest in it, and they are fascinated and working on it, and they are, you say, mesmerizing the beauty of the writing of mathematical equations through it. So we are really, you say, thankful to our today's speaker, Engineer Pavit Deep Singh. He have wonderfully explained article writing, book writing, report writing, Beamer, many things which can be possible from the LaTeX. So that part is explained in each and every way, and need not to bother about the typesetting in the LaTeX. While when you are working in MS Word, we are wasting a lot of time in doing setting the margins, setting the formats, setting the font size, many things. So here we are not bothering about anything. Everything symmetrically placed, everything is symmetrically shown. This is the beauty of the LaTeX. So that's why it is continuously is a favorite software for all of the science people, mathematicians, and even engineers who are writing equations particularly. So for that reason, we are again and again putting this LaTeX into our coursework, in our PhD coursework, and moreover, we are also conducting many workshops from the various departments in this field to learn LaTeX, and more students are coming toward this side. I am really honored to have our VC sir, Professor Arvind, and his presence, august presence, given us again a motivation that how he was interested in knowing the things, intricacies, and explaining the things, how beautiful it is. And since long, he is doing work on it. So then we have our Dean Academic, Dr. B.S. Sandhu sir, and he also took so much interest in it, and he was sitting before noon in the morning session, and after the session he was listening and trying to find out the new things out of it. So of course it was interesting and made interesting even by the speaker also. Once again, Engineer Pavit is really credited to the interest created throughout the presentation. So then we have the Dean Engineering and Associate Dean of Research, Dr. M.S. Pathar. He has met me and given us the verbal ideas and the importance of this work. Of course, our head and Dean International Studies, Dr. Ranjit Kaur, also continuing this legacy of presentation, legacy of short courses, and attracting the students through online medium and bringing audience from far off places on this juncture through the COVID time. We are doing a lot of learning, and we are continuing this practice and hope we will do better in the coming days also. And on the same lines, nothing less, we have Dr. Richa Sharma. He have taken the initiative, and he actually placed an idea in front of me that why not we give one lecture on LaTeX, and spontaneously I named Engineer Pavit, that no one is better than him, could do justice to the LaTeX. So that was the scene in front of all of us, that Engineer Pavit is a wonderful speaker and presenter for the LaTeX. And we have a satisfied talk and a memorable talk, and in the coming days we will do better out of it. So Dr. Richa Sharma for taking the initiative, I am thankful, grateful, and hope that we will continue this type of the work and bring laurel, bring name to the department in the coming days. Of course, audience, I have seen the number of the participants, 74, 80 participants. They were continuously learning online, and they were sitting and asking the questions and asking the intricacies. Of course, they are also part of this seminar. I am really thankful to be patient and continuously available here. And it also again enforcing the same idea that how important it is and how useful, how interesting the lecture was. So from these lines, I am again thankful, good learning, good beginning from the LaTeX point of view. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request some of the participants to share their views regarding the one-day national workshop.
Hello.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for allowing me.
Sir, can you switch on your mic? Can you switch on your camera, sir?
Ma'am, unfortunately, right now, I'm in the distant part of Bengal, and that's why the internet connection is not that much strong. Anyway,
Okay, no problem, sir.
This is Mustafa Shamim Firdaus. I'm a Commonwealth scholar, and graduate of London School of Economics. Right now pursuing my MPhil degree over there in the major of financial engineering. I'm a chartered accountant as well. I'm really thankful to the honorable organizer sir and ma'am for giving me this opportunity to be in this excellent event. And I'm really thankful to all the research persons sir and ma'am, and I'm really thankful to the Punjabi University for allowing me, in this such an excellent program. I have a request actually. The program is really very excellent. Within the short period of time, we have been introduced to so many excellent techniques in LaTeX. But unfortunately, due to this pandemic situation, it has not been possible for me to be there physically present in the institute. So it would be very kind. From the organizer side if you please give us the access to the recordings as well as the codes. Okay, that has been actually presented us here, so that we can explore it further and we can learn it very much, because it's totally a hands-on session, and as it has not been possible for many of us to be there physically present. I hope honorable organizers sir and ma'am will be kind to take the issue in their concern, and please be kind to allow us to give the access of the recording of this excellent event. And it
Sir,
will
definitely.
also
Definitely, sir. We will definitely share the recording and the templates with you through emails.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. And
thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words.
And as it is simply the beginning, in coming days, we are going to explore further on LaTeX, and we will actually have much and more issues on this particular thing. So please be kind to keep me in your good space and allow me to be in your touch through email and through virtual platform to actually learn much and more of it. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you very much for the support.
Sir, we have created one WhatsApp group. In the invitation, we give you a WhatsApp link. You can join that group, and Engineer Pavitdeep Singh is also in that group. If you are having any query, we will answer in the group.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I request any other participant to share his or her feedback about the workshop.
Good afternoon, madam.
Yes, sir.
Myself, Ashok Tawar from Maharashtra, speaking from Maharashtra. Today's webinar was very excellent, madam. Knowledgeful and very interactive. We got different type of aspects of the research methodology. I request to you, madam, please share the PPT and some other required the things.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. We will share the PPTs and recordings and your certificate with email.
Okay, madam. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining. I request any other one more.
What is the process for the group joining in the group, madam? Can you join me in the YouTube?
Yes, sir. You received the invitation email yesterday. I posted one email, invitation email.
No, madam.
Okay, sir. You drop me the message on my WhatsApp number. You kindly note down the number. It's 950. I'm writing down in the chat box.
One minute, madam. Please give me the number. 950.
95018. 95500.
95500. Good name, madam?
Dr. Richa Sharma, sir.
Dr. Richa. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon to all of you.
Hello, sir.
My name is Zainul Abedin. I am from Jharkhand. The session was very nice and informative. I think that it will be very useful for my research purposes as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other participant wants to share views?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, Arvind Sharma this side. Ma'am,
Yes,
session
sir.
was very good, very nice session, and we learned many new things because we are not making or not writing our papers with the help of LaTeX technology from so long, and we learned many new things from Pavitra Deep sir. And I would like to congratulate all the organizer of the university. And we also seek such type of new events in coming future from your side, ma'am. Thank you very
Yes,
much
sir.
for.
Surely, sir. That's why we are creating the group in future. If we are having any such type of workshop or expert lecture, we can inform you on that.
Thank you very much for a very nice session, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And you are the active participant in the whole workshop.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's over from our side and from the expert side. Um, you may connect us through emails. And if you are having any queries, I will share the Dr. Pavit Singh's email ID with you. With these words, I take your permission to end the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pavit sir, for your support. The event will be successful only with your support.
And do credit to all the participants and even to your faculty and the Honorable Vice Chancellor for organizing this one. Thanks a lot.
Sir, the credit goes to Dr. Mandeep Singh Bhamraji. He proposed
Absolutely.
your name, and
Right.
he was very sure that you will take the event to the next heights, and definitely from the feedback from the participants, we feel that it was a successful workshop.
Right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank you, Bhamra sir.
Okay, bye. ठीक है जी.
Okay,
Bye.
okay,
nice
thank
day.
you, sir.
चंगा जी. Okay, Pavit.
Participant,
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
participants can leave the meeting.